morning, Columbus.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wake up! Stop this boy!
Retzlaff tight, F-fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X-fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth
Mr. T-Bone.
and a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyus Powell.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
No Tyvis today. Happy Friday to you. Austin Ward is in for Tyvis. How are you doing, Austin?
Awesome. Back-to-back days in here. Back-to-back days off for Tyus Powell, Mr. No Days Off.
That's right. You're getting ready to take a trip this weekend.
I am.
You're not taking a day off. You're going to leave after this and go out and take a little vacation.
I am going to take Tuesday and Wednesday off.
Oh,
But,
well,
that's
all right.
that's neither here nor there. I'm not the one who claims that I won't use my PTO.
See, that's it. That's it. If you come in here saying, I love paid time off, I'm fine with that. And then you take paid time off, it's all good. But if you make it your life's mission to end time off for people like Tyvis Powell has. He was at the State House campaigning saying no more paid time off. He also said child labor should come back too. He wants it all. He wants kids working hard at like 13, 14 years old. Get them out there. Get them to the factories. Let's go. What are we doing?
Tyvis.
Who needs time off, right?
Come on, man.
Anyway, he's in South Beach enjoying himself. Actually, I know he's not. He's texting us like every
Is he
20
already
minutes.
in the YouTube chat right now?
He probably is to defend himself. If he's not, you can be. You can jump in now. Just go to YouTube, search up 971 The Fan. You can hop in there. Plenty to get to today. We do have Ask Tyvis Anything at 7:30, but Tyvis isn't here. So we're going to have Ask Austin Ward Anything that he's legally allowed to talk about.
That's right. That's an important caveat that we must include. Unfortunately.
Yeah, but we'll have Austin do that. And, if you have anything for me, I can answer questions too. Why not? Morning Breath coming up at 8:15. We have got some priceless sound for you in that segment as well, including someone who said they crapped themselves during a game.
It's a great way to start a Memorial Day
That's
weekend.
Right. That's exactly right. Rusty in the chat says Tyvis took his 5.1 second 40-yard to South Beach. Do not let him hear that. Oh, it's not 5.1. He still thinks he can run like a 4.45, 4.46, something like that.
Yeah, all he needs is a week to go train, and he's going to be good to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I saw that last night. The Guardians. We were talking about this yesterday. Guardians taking on the Tigers. Rematch of the ALDS. We know how that went. Guardians took care of business there. First game of their season series. Tigers were up 6 games on the Guardians heading into this one.
Yeah,
and the Guards hadn't been playing well at all. Well, they played fine last night. They got the nice victory. Tanner Bybee shut down Detroit's lineup pretty much. He looked great. And what they win? Like 7-0, 7-1, something like that?
You said yesterday, it was like, it's late May, but it is a series that the Guardians really need. It's like, it always feels like it's too early to be making those proclamations, but you can only fall so far behind. So big win for the Guards. They needed that one to start turning around some of that momentum. Baseball in the state has been interesting.
Oh, it's been very interesting, but that was a big win for them. Yeah, 7-0. I couldn't remember if at some point the Tigers tacked on a win. I was trying to keep all of my shutouts straight because in hockey last night, you had goalie Bob he had a shutout for the Panthers as they blanked the Canes again to take a 2-0 lead. They now, of course, are rolling in that one. They won 5-0. So just
I'm sick of goalie Bob doing this elsewhere.
Well,
I can't watch anymore.
He didn't have much to do last night. He had 17 saves.
Yeah, there was no pressure on that.
That was, just domination by Florida. They look like they're well on their way. You had in the NBA playoffs, Oklahoma City, no problems again. They're dominating. They have got a 2-0 lead, and it looks like that. Those two series both look like they're over. Yeah. I don't know what we'll get in the Eastern Conference, obviously in the NBA. See what the Pacers do tonight with the Knicks. If they take 2 at Madison Square Garden, you have to feel pretty good about that. I believe Game 3, Bodie, you know the NBA schedule a little better than I do. Game 3 of this series in Indianapolis, is that on Sunday?
I believe so. I'm pretty sure the conference finals goes every other night.
Good thing there's nothing else going on in Indianapolis on Sunday at 1 p.m. Oh, wait, that's right, the Indy 500, where I will be That's going to be a nightmare.
That's going to be
I'm excited for that
traffic on the track and on the highway.
Oh, it's going to be a scene. I don't know what the timing is on all that. I wonder if it's possible that you could do the double. If you're in Indy and you could go to the 500 and then go to the playoff game. I'm sure some people will attempt that if it's anywhere reasonable, if it's like a 5 o'clock tip or something like that or later. But yeah, I was talking outside with Tyler, who's one of our digital director essentially here at the Fan. And he was saying, oh, it sounds like it's going to be cold at the Indy 500. And I said, yeah, well, then I got into how the density of the air when it's colder, that compacts the air, the molecules, and then that makes the air denser, and that affects the race cars. And I started babbling about this, and I could just see the life leaving his face, where he was just like, and I realized
he was just kind of like, are you going to have fun?
I'm the only one I'm the only one that cares about this nerd stuff when it comes. Me and Tim May. Yeah. Like he's going to be there. I think he's probably there now.
I don't think he's ever missed it. He's probably been there since last Friday.
Oh, he goes for a long time. Yeah, he's out there. He loves to he'll go get a Takuma Sato interview. He'll do his thing. He'll be talking to everybody.
When do you leave?
We're Sunday morning.
Okay.
We're leaving at bright and early, 3 a.m.
Oh.
And we're going to get there at 6 because the Indy 500, the parking for that situation, you can buy parking. I attempted to. I was not able to because it was all sold out. So the only other option you have then is to park in the neighborhoods, which there are plenty of options there. All the houses basically put signs out in their yard saying $30, $50, $80. But then they will put out signs that say, we have a toilet. We have food.
Yeah.
We have beer. And then you you might pay a little bit more to have toilet access and grilled food. So then you have to decide, do I want to go cheaper, maybe walk a little further, or get a little closer? So we're going to figure that out. But you have to get there early because by like 8 o'clock, that's all gone.
Wow.
So it's all, See, again, the life leaving your eyes now. I can already.
No, I've never been to this one. I've only watched it a handful of times. But as we've got really into Formula Ones, we've got Monaco in the morning, and we're going down there. Last year we did the U.S. Grand Prix in Austin, happened to line up with the off week, and so I had got my parents to watch Drive to Survive. They're into it. My sister, her fiance, the nieces, they all watch it. So when we all went to the race together and camped out in Austin for that whole weekend, and now we've got, planning a brunch for Monaco on Sunday morning. So full day of racing and going to be excited for that. My mom, though, I was like, well, we'll handle some of the brunch because, we're going to get up early. Allie and I like to, contribute when we're on the road. Like, what should we cook for everyone? And my mom's like, no, you're in my house. I'll get things ready for the Moroccan brunch. I said, who did you? She was like, I went to the liquor store and I asked the guy what he recommended for a Moroccan brunch, and I said, Uh-oh. It's not Morocco. It's not Morocco. That's a lovely place. That's not what we're going for. And she said, it's Monaco. I've been corrected. It is Monaco. So, she's trying. She does like it. She's a huge Lando Norris and McLaren fan. And obviously, we had a great time in Austin. But, sometimes the locations slip her mind a little bit. Yeah. That's the one thing about going, as a big auto racing fan, going to the Indy 500, I love. It is a slice of Americana. You get to see people watching is out of this world because they have a rave in turn 3. Why not? There's 20, 30,000 people there just for that who have no interest in the race. So you'd be walking by a guy with a racing shirt and who's got all these Indianapolis 500 pins in his hat. And right next to him is someone with glow sticks wearing essentially lingerie. And you're like, what? Where am I at? What is happening here? Hey, it's America's melting pot. Shaq was there the other year. He was as a DJ, because he does that. He likes to play the EDM, the techno stuff. Which game was he at? The Cotton Bowl or the National Championship? I don't remember which one. But Shaq just keeps showing up at all these random places as a DJ. I'm like, why? What a life. No, because he loves it. That's how you know he loves it. He doesn't have to do any of that. That's like Randy Johnson. Yeah. Being a photographer. Yeah. Or Drew Carey, Ken Griffey Jr. I saw is doing that now too. They must love it. Because they don't have to go. There's no other reason to go work and do that type of thing unless you really enjoy it. So good for them. We've got plenty of news for you on the Buckeyes, too. Ohio State, we found out a little bit more information about when that game against Texas may be. We know when it won't be, apparently, and we know why it won't be a better situation for Buckeye fans. Something that I think a lot of people wanted isn't going to happen because Texas is scared. We'll talk about that next.
It's T-Bone and Tyvis with Austin Ward on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Well, if you are stepping out the door for work or even just kickstarting your holiday weekend, all roads leading into the metro are looking great. We do want to let you know, though, about some lane closures that are happening right now. 71 southbound in Madison County, both directions, too, just past State Route 56. The project will be happening through fall 2026, so a bit there. A little bit of slowdowns, as we mentioned, but nothing too concerning. Just be well aware if you're heading that way. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Scotty Vegas here, and yes, Memorial Day is this weekend. Have you tried on those shorts from last year? Scary thought if you didn't make any changes. Make a change now and see every future holiday, every day, as the best day with Awaken 180 weight loss.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at the Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news, we fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on the Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Get ready for a chilly start to the day, but we'll make our way from the 40s to the low 60s this afternoon as more sunshine pushes through the region. Isolated shower not entirely out of the question. Tonight we'll drop down into the 40s, partly cloudy. More sunshine for your Saturday, getting back into the upper 60s and staying dry for Sunday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Your home for football, food, and fun. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Austin Ward in for Tyvis today. We were talking a little auto racing in the break. Austin,
you didn't know that I had that in me.
I didn't know you had been to F1 race in you, but I should have known. Austin, if you're going to go to any race, why not go to the one named after you?
That's right.
That's the one you go to.
I'm honored that they did. I'm a man of multitudes, Bone. Yeah. We can talk some F1. We can definitely talk some WWE.
Oh, yeah. Love that, too.
Or we can talk about Ohio State football.
Listen, to know that there's someone else who can flow into auto racing, soccer, and pro wrestling. I mean, that I always say that there's a lot of similarities between auto racing and soccer because of their sponsors on the jerseys. People want the authentic thing that has the sponsor on it. If you don't get that, you're getting a knockoff thing. We're very accustomed to rooting for like a guy who moves around different teams all over the place, all over the world, depending on, you attach to players and drivers as opposed to teams sometimes. And on top of all that, I mean, you learn a lot about geography if you watch auto racing or if you watch soccer, because it's like, where's this track? Oh, it's in Germany at this. Oh, what's the name of the town? And then you're like, oh yeah, there's a soccer team there. I've watched their games.
Yeah.
It just helps you with world geography.
And we meet a lot of Europeans.
Absolutely right. Oh yeah.
Very worldly.
Oh, exactly right. So I'm just saying but usually I don't run into a lot of auto racing and soccer fans. Usually it's one or the other.
That hasn't come up on the In with Tyvis yet? You guys haven't been breaking down Max Verstappen's title chances this year?
We haven't fully gotten into how he feels about Mad Max and everything that he does, his antics on and off the track. So, yeah, we'll have to break that down when Tyvis gets back here next week.
Right, fresh off of a Monaco victory for Max Verstappen.
God, you mean the parade?
Yeah.
The Monaco parade?
Well, that is true. Saturday's qualifying is going to be a lot more important than Sunday's race. But
yeah, but you know what? It's the spectacle.
That was the one that got my wife Allie into it. Bone was, I said, well, because I'd started watching Drive to Survive pretty early on, and I said, it was the second or third episode where they're in Monaco, and I said, look at this. This is what it is. It is the champagne. It is the pools. It's the yachts.
The yachts, yeah.
And because that's her vision for her lifestyle. She's the champagne girl. I said,
right.
Well, look at this. This is the one for you. And she was hooked.
Yeah, of course. That's what all these drivers, a lot of them live in Monaco, which is crazy in the offseason. They're just like, yeah, I just have a yacht in a penthouse, and what a lifestyle.
Her guy, Charles Leclerc. The Monegasque.
That's right. He's from Monaco. Yeah. They also, am I not mistaken, I feel like many years ago, maybe you're not aware of this situation, I believe it was Kimi Räikkönen.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the F1 drivers who he wrecked out and walked off the course, unzipped his driver's suit, and walked right to his yacht. Didn't even go back with the team. Didn't go back. Just hopped on his yacht. And during the race, he's just sitting there sipping champagne. There's like a hot supermodel next to him. And he's like, hey, well, so I wrecked. Who cares?
Must be
I got
nice,
this
right?
going on.
Yeah.
What a life.
Not too bad.
No. I don't know if they have yachts. I don't think the yacht culture is quite there in Texas. I know Les Miles once bemoaned the fact that he took a vacation to Texas and there wasn't a beach, but he was like in Austin, I want to say, and he kind of had some it was just there was no beach, and it's like, yeah, that you didn't go where the beaches were, you idiot.
Well, we float the rivers in Texas,
right?
Les, I mean, you were so close. You just head on down to the Guadalupe and grab a tube, buddy. You don't need a yacht.
No.
That's Monday for me.
That's right. I hear that's what you're doing. Should be a lot of fun on Monday. That sounds like a blast. Texas apparently shot down the opportunity to play the Buckeyes on Sunday, apparently, because all the fervor about Big Noon kickoff. Buckeyes wanted to move the game. Fox is saying, we don't want to put it on Saturday night. There's a bunch of action going on Saturday night. The whole reason they do Big Noon kickoff is to get the ratings for noon, because there's not anything else going up against it. So they said, what if we put it up on Sunday? And apparently Fox was open to the idea. Texas was not. According to 24/7 Sports, Texas shot down the idea. So looking like it's going to be a noon kickoff now. But that is why it looks like all the times we're not on those releases. When they redid them, they put all these releases out that the game would be on this date and all that, but they didn't have the times.
Yeah, what Fox did initially was confirmed that they had drafted week 1. Big surprise to everybody, Ohio State versus Texas, and they have the first right of refusal on that. Of course, they took it. Initially, they had said the date. They had said noon. They removed that from their social media graphics. They edited out of their story. And why were they doing that? Because Ohio State was pursuing and asking if there was a different opportunity. Now, prime time on Fox was never an option. And why is that? Because, again, you start to get into all these other contractual implications. Not just that there were other games or that Fox was scared to compete, although we know that their business model is noon. I don't have to tell Ohio State fans that, who've been to so many, too many, a bunch of noon games in a row. But they have Major League Baseball on that night. And that's not something that they could move or get out of. They had multiple regional broadcasts, which I can hear everyone laughing. Well, how are those games more important than Ohio State versus Texas? They're not, but the contracts are, and they're difficult to break. So the other option for them then was Ohio State was willing to play this game on Sunday and move it back a day. Now, as Bodie knows, there still could have been some competition for eyeballs on that Sunday night, but it's the visiting team has to agree to that. And I can still hear people snickering. Well, just pay a little bit more money, have Fox move around the charter jet for Texas, get them different hotel reservations, whatever, like make it work. But in terms of, asking a team to accept an even bigger competitive disadvantage, which is an option that Texas had in this situation because you're changing the date of the game, said, no, we're good. And I can understand why. I won't defend Texas. I'm not going to apologize for Fox either. Like, it would have been very cool to have a Sunday marquee primetime matchup. No one's going to dispute that in Columbus. But I can also understand why Texas said no.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I fully get why they said no, because they don't have to. They don't have to say yes, is basically why. Texas looks at themselves, I'm sure, just like Ohio State does. If the roles were reversed and it was next year when this is going to be in Austin, if it was the same type of situation where Texas said, hey, we've just had a bunch of noon kicks. We don't want a noon kick. We want to do it at night. You think Texas is going to be like, or Ohio State would say, oh, yeah, sure. Let's sign up for a night game in Austin.
How can we help you?
Right. Also, we're Ohio State. We don't move for you. And I'm sure Texas is they look at themselves the same way Ohio State looks at themselves and says, we don't move for anybody. We do what we want. This is the scheduled game. We have our practices already mapped out, how our recovery is going to go, everything for our next game. I don't even know who they play next. It could be nobody. But the point is they don't want to change.
San Jose State.
Sure. Okay.
Got to have that extra day.
Great. Got to have them for, San Jose State. They are, what are they, the Spartans?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
now,
well, whatever. They're doing this. I'm just saying, I get why they don't want to move. I also think it makes them look a little bit soft. That's all. I do think it does.
It definitely doesn't mean just because I understand why they did it that we can't make fun of them or, call them soft for being unwilling to do it. I argued on the, Austin and Berm show this morning with, it wasn't an argument. Berm said that this should be good for the game of college football. It should be important for both Ohio State and Texas to accept this, or for Texas specifically, to get more eyeballs on this game. And that's another part where again, I'm not defending Texas, and it's not because I'm flying into Austin's airport later today, but I'm betting right now, I'd make a bold prediction, Bone, that even at noon on Saturday, and even with the other games that are scheduled at 3:30 and in primetime, more people are going to watch Ohio State, Texas in week 1, kicking off that day, and 1 versus 2 or 2 versus 3 or 1 versus 3, however that winds up being in the preseason polls. I bet that's still the highest rated game of the weekend.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. And by the way, a lot of those big noon kicks did get very good numbers. Did they, I don't know why we care about that as much as fans. Like that, I've heard that talked about. It's like, they're not getting this. They still got very good ratings. Maybe they didn't get as good of a rating as if you put it at night. Maybe they lost a percentage point or two. I've heard a lot of fans make that case like, why don't they want to get the best ratings? What? That I don't care about. I care about when the game is. I care about it being an advantage for Ohio State, not a disadvantage. I care about it for the fans. There's no denying a noon game in August in the shoe is going to be blazing hot, potentially, probably. So would it be better to have it at night, have a better atmosphere because you're going to be a little bit cooler? People are going to have a few more drinks in them. Sure. My only issue was when people would say, oh, well, we can't even have any fun at a night game. It's just, or unless it's a night game, there's no fun. And it's like, I get we had too many noons last year, but let's not pretend that we can't still have a great time at a noon game. I get it, though. It should be a night game. This one should have been, and it sucks that it looks like now it won't be.
Yeah, it won't be.
And we know why. Because Texas
but I do think
is ducking it.
You know, this has come up a ton over the last 5-6 years, dating back to, you know, the fight for football during COVID and all that, Bone. Like, shouldn't Ohio State throw its weight around? Shouldn't it ask for things? Shouldn't it, you know, try and assert its will over college football as the preeminent brand? I think you can see now it didn't work here because at some point you run into a thing that you can't change contractually or competitively. But at least if people are wanting to see Ross Bjork or Ohio State's athletic department fight for the things that Ohio State wants, they're definitely doing that. Now, it may not work, and in this case it didn't. But if you are, you know, bringing that to the table, Fox showed a willingness to move this game to Sunday night. They couldn't make that happen, but maybe that shows itself up in other ways. Eventually they're going to renegotiate this broadcast deal. It runs through 2030. You know, maybe there's an opportunity where you say, hey, let's think about Penn State here. Ohio State tried to get something changed for Texas. They couldn't. Why don't they say, well, you keep asking us to carry the load for these noon games. Why don't you, Fox, draft Oregon, Penn State with your third choice instead of Ohio State, Penn State? So maybe NBC can take that game and put it on primetime on November 1st. Like, maybe that's how it shows up. Maybe it doesn't impact this first game that fans wanted in primetime and they get it at noon, but maybe it's the next big one that they get instead. You know, I think that should be encouraging for Ohio State fans, in my opinion, that Ross Bjork, he's talking about the atmosphere. He's talking about kickoff times. He's doing things, NIL-led initiatives that are to the benefit of Ohio State, which I think is all they've ever wanted, is for Ohio State to actually, you know, throw its weight around a little bit more than it had maybe in the past.
Yeah, and I think that they probably will start to do that. It obviously seems like they asked for it. I mean, it seems like Ohio State tried to push its weight around. The reality is, at some point, you can only do so much when it comes to that. I do think there are things you could change, like we've talked about. Ohio State could focus a lot more, I feel like, on stuff like the shot, the atmosphere there. How do we make that better? Which I know that's a focus Ross Bjork's talked about. You can only push so far on let's get more night games with Fox. The reality is you took the money. You took their money, and so did the Big Ten. Everybody did. But you're the preeminent brand in the Big Ten. And at some point, yeah, you should probably, like you said, push a little bit further. They have. There's only so much you can do in this one scenario. But I bet it works itself out eventually where maybe a game where you'd like it to be a night game ends up being a night game because, well, we know what you did with that Texas game. That could be a possibility, too. Clip that in 2 minutes. Some great audio for you next. It is T-Bone and Tyvis with Austin Ward on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Friday. We do want to let you know about some road closures for folks over on the west side. Hilliard Rome Road, just south of Manor Park Drive. That will be closed off for a little bit. Crews will be out there fixing some broken rails out there starting at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So make sure you're well aware of that if you're in the area. A good detour there is just taking Federer Road all the way down to Alton Darby and hopping back on Broad Street to get where you need to go. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows, binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on Warm Weather Vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take a shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5HEshot.com for full details and rules to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.
When it's time to fire up the grill, Meijer is ready to help bring the char-grilled good life to your backyard with prime cuts of certified Angus beef, wholesome all-natural chicken breast, tenders, wings, and thighs, hand-selected to ensure quality and taste, lean ground beef prepared fresh daily, and even a wide selection of organic options, including chicken, beef, and sausage, all at sizzling low prices to help you bring home more of what you love in every trip. We're working hard to make the grilling life a good deal better at Meijer.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Listen to that! Son of a... That's unbelievable! Oh my goodness! Holy smoke! Just incredible!
T-Bone and Tyvis present Clip That.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Receive a 100% match when you deposit up to $400 with the Prime Sports Ohio app.
한리버튼 5초 갑니다. 4초 3초 2점을 노리나요? 자 빠져나가면서 한리버튼 쏩니다. 이게 뭐야? 이게 뭡니까? 할리버튼의 초크 세레머니까지.
That is the Korean broadcast of Tyrese Halliburton's game winner from a couple nights ago. We didn't see it yesterday, but once I found that, I heard it yesterday afternoon, and I said, that has to go in. We have to play that. I will tell you this, Korea, their broadcast, when it comes to sporting events, they're doing it right.
Amazing passion.
The passion's there. Love it. And it's not the first time we've heard this, because there's we have audio from a home run call from a few years ago that also went viral, because just listen to the energy in this call for like a home run call in a Korean baseball game.
큰 거 하나 나오면은 지금 끝내기까지 가능한 이대호 선수인데요. 아, 근데 대타로 나와서 3타수 무안타 삼진 2개입니다. 그러네요. 왼쪽 이대호 담장 넘어갔습니다. 이대호의 끝내기. 오늘 시애틀의 홍보자 첫 승 이대호 선수의 방망이에서 나왔습니다.
Love it. Just we're not getting that anymore on this side. Like in the U.S., everybody's too jaded now.
Remember when Gus Johnson used to do that?
Right.
Now it's, back to pass.
Oh, my gosh.
Fumble, Jack Sawyer, touchdown.
What game was that? That was the game. It was one of those games. It was one of the blowout games that Ohio State had.
I think it was Purdue, wasn't it?
There you go.
Yeah, where it was like we knew
Nebraska actually was like.
That was a closer game.
Had some juice from that.
I was like, that's the wrong Nebraska year.
Yeah.
Last year was the near debacle. I blacked that on my memory.
That's right. You have to do that sometimes.
Yeah. When Fox is like, you know what, Gus? Just stay in Columbus for one more week and call this Purdue game.
Yeah.
No.
It felt literally like he was either protesting the fact that they had to do that game or just thought it's not right that Ohio State even has to play Purdue because they're so bad. And I thought either way, it could be both. And either way, those are bad reasons, right? You're there to call the game. They pay you a lot of money to call the game. Try to just don't ruin the moment for, if nothing else, those highlights live on for decades. If there's a great play, it shouldn't have you just going, touchdown, Buckeyes. And it's just like, why? Just give it a little something.
And that used to be his whole calling card at any point because it was overexcitement. Even for incompletions, he'd be like, back to pass, deep shot, incomplete.
Right, yes, but he'd give you the whole, he's ready.
But now
he's waiting.
Now this was it was a strip sack touchdown. And he's just like, touchdown, Buckeyes.
Do we have the Ron Lewis, that call he had in the Buckeyes run?
Oh, that's definitely in there. Timmy Hall's played that about 1 million times on the Buckeye show over the years.
Yeah,
it's somewhere in there.
I mean, this one's like 43 seconds. Oh, I want the shorter one. Let's see if this is, I think, the shortest one, maybe. Let's hope.
5 to go. Lewis has been awesome. Let's it go.
Still don't know what he said. But BTO, PTO, Tyvis Powell, PTO, I don't know.
Gus Johnson once had a pretty good call calling a Notre Dame-Stanford game several years ago where one of our linebackers is named Greer Martini. Martini had a sack, and he's like, Martini, shake it, now stir it on the sack. Yeah, that's great, Gus.
Oh, he wrote that on Tuesday. He was just waiting. He's like, he's praying to God.
My guy, make one tackle. I need one tackle from you.
We're only a couple years removed from Maserati Marv and the world famous.
Oh, yeah. Well, he even had, back in the day, was it Denzel Ward that had the touchdown?
Yeah.
Or the touchdown, the big
back.
hit. It was the big hit. Yeah.
You got barbecue back there?
You didn't tell me, hurt my feelings. Yeah. It's great.
He's got to get that back.
I know. Instead, now we have to go to Korea to get a good call. Like, that's just.
Do we have any Korean calls of Ohio State games?
We need to find out.
We'll be in heaven for that.
I don't know if. Ohio State's a big brand. I don't know if we've broken through in Korea yet. As far as I know, there's a large contingent of Korean international students.
Yeah.
And I know there's, all that. I'm just saying I don't know if Korean broadcasting has picked up on we cover every Ohio State game. Maybe the national championship had some stuff.
I didn't see him there in Atlanta. But
all right. Well, we'll have to find out. Maybe that is the case.
The call for 3rd and JJ from the Korean broadcasters would have been great.
Had to be something, right? Of course. Tyvis Powell, by the way, is in the YouTube chat. So if you hop in there, you can say hi to our vacationing co-host, who is not with us today. He's down in Miami. He said GMGTH, which is Good Morning, Go to Hell, which is our version of Go to Hell. So there you go. Also, Rusty's making fun of him for having a lemonade hangover.
Oh, no.
Too
much sugar on South Beach?
Probably what it is. Probably what happened.
Got to be careful with that.
You do.
Thought Tyvis knew better.
No, you know what? I don't think he can stop himself. When he sees a sweet drink like lemonade, he has to go for it. He loves it. Now, we have here at the station, we have a little bit of a thing that we have tried to make a thing over the years, which is we have some songs that are played whenever we think there's a need for it. And this OSU-Texas deal, where Texas has basically blocked Ohio State from playing on Sunday, we called up our house band, Art and the Official Intelligencers, I think is their official name. Art and the Official Intelligencers. Anyway.
I love them. They're big time.
They're big. And they made a little country ditty for us. I hope you enjoy it.
Down in Austin, Texas, they're all afraid about playing on Sundays against old Ryan Day. Someday these Buckeyes will all turn pro, but the Longhorns, baby, they're just too slow. Oh, Texas, they're scared to play on Sunday. They whine and complain till they got their way. Come big noon, the Buckeyes will be the real winner. And that night, Brutus will have a Longhorn steak dinner. These Longhorn steers smell like chicken, and thinking about Sunday made their pulse quicken. But Austin stars will be dim in the daylight as the Buckeyes pull those straps on their helmets tight. Oh, Texas, they're scared to play on Sunday. They whine and complain till they got their way. Come big noon, the Buckeyes will be the real winner. And that night, Brutus will have a Longhorn steak dinner. Yeah, a Longhorn steak dinner.
There you go. Art and the Official Intelligencers coming through again for us. We love it. It's nice of them to do.
I mean, I think you got to find a way to get this on Apple or sell singles somehow. I mean, it's going to be number one on the charts in Columbus. I mean, that's an absolute banger for Ohio State fans upset about this.
I mean, you like we talked about yesterday, you like that Texas style country music.
I do.
Does that fall into a little bit of the Texas style? I mean, it's a little bit of slide guitar. I don't know if that's as big down in Texas.
It's got a little bit of that. You can go out to Green Hall and do some two-step into that for sure.
Okay.
Get the boots on. I'm going to go, I'll make sure that I can download that and I'll play it in the Austin airport when I land this afternoon.
Just blast it.
I think they'll love that.
Get one of those clip-on speakers that people wear when they go hiking. I've seen that where it's like, why do I have to hear the Red Hot Chili Peppers here in Yosemite? Like, just enjoy the nature. We don't need to be blasting your song. But in the airport, that's fine. Use it to, like, kind of troll them a little bit. I'm all about it.
I think that'd be a great idea. I've got one of those Nicole Cox and Roosters gave me one of those, they're like Yetis that have a speaker in the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So I can just carry that through the airport, and I think that would be effective.
That's high tech right there.
Rather than taking a poll of the Texas fans as I land in Austin later today and say, hey, are you guys okay? Would you have played on Sunday? And then their fans will say, yeah, or no, we don't want the Buckeyes to have an even bigger home field advantage. I'll just play that song instead, and I'll check the reactions. I mean, that's
I like it.
How that song came together with Art and the crew.
Oh, they do their thing.
I mean,
now
the game was just decided yesterday.
I know. They get right in the studio and they go to town. Now, I do know that in Texas, from what I'm told, if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band.
100%.
So that part we didn't have there. We'll work on getting a fiddle worked in next time.
Well,
hopefully.
They only had 12 hours.
I know.
You can't just pick up a new studio musician for the crew.
No, absolutely not.
So good for them.
We may play that again.
I got a feeling it's going to be played a lot.
Tell your friends and family, gather around the radio for the next 2.5 hours. We may play it again. You never know.
Get your tape deck out and your Maxell cassette to record it.
By the way, there's somebody in sports that I have heard over the last 48 hours. Well, not even 48 hours. It's been longer than that. I have heard someone in sports that everyone says we have got to feel bad for this person. And I have searched my cold, dark heart, and I find no sympathy for this person. And I will explain why next. It's T-Bone and Tyvis with Austin Ward on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to your Friday. Hey, if you're heading out to the airport for a nice holiday weekend, things are looking pretty good there. 670 westbound and eastbound up to par with your drive times there. Taking a closer look, drive times southbound here, 71 south between Frink Road to 270 will only take you 2 minutes. 270 south from Broad Street to 70 will only take you 6. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
Men, is good enough really what you want with your sex life? This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if erectile dysfunction is making for a bad bedroom experience for you and your partner, you should call us because you want your intimacy to be fantastic, both for you and the one you love. At Tri-State Men's Health, our treatments have success rates of well over 90%. And because we're a medical practice focused on men's sexual health, we can offer many treatment options and even combine treatments to find the right one for you. Which means if you're like most of our patients, we can likely get you performing like you haven't in years. So make an appointment and make a change from good enough to really good. And for a limited time, we're offering new patients a free first visit to help you get the care you deserve. This includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose to demonstrate to you the amazing effectiveness of our treatments. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
We could tell you what makes Giant Eagle special, but we think our customers say it best.
I love the fresh produce. I love the fresh meat.
I'm pretty sure the fish guy knows me by now. We're buds.
I love to grill. That alone keeps me coming back.
The people that work here are so nice and so helpful.
Everybody loves the cakes from Giant Eagle.
On every shelf, in every department, we're always going for better because being your Giant Eagle matters.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
This is my Giant Eagle.
Hey, it's Anthony. You know what the slogan is at the Good Feet store? Good feet, good life. Friends have asked me, how are my personally fit arch supports different from the inserts and insoles they can buy online or in department stores? There are big differences. My Good Feet arch supports are designed to provide me firm yet flexible function. What does that do? They actually help correct poor foot biomechanics, which leads to providing me long-term pain relief. I was also the guy who thought, well, if I buy good shoes, my feet won't hurt. It wasn't a bad thought. A lot of people think shoes are always the problem, when in reality, it's often the foot that goes into the shoe that's the real source of discomfort. When I got my personally fit Good Feet arch supports, my feet felt stabilized. The pain and discomfort went away. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people just like me discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. They're on Stringtown Road in Grove City or Polaris Parkway. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
Man once shaved Timmy's leg live on the air. Tune in weekdays at 3 to see what else they'll shave. Wait, what else they'll shave? Who the hell wants to listen to that?
Common Man and Timmy, smooth as silk.
Okay, The Fan.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Why would we trade our best player?
Well, at least you got to watch him in person when he was here.
I named my only son after him.
So you'll always remember his name.
Yeah, but what do I do with this jersey?
Luckily, the company has a great return policy.
I wore it for 6 seasons.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Tyvis is off today. Austin Ward is in. Tyvis apparently jumped in the YouTube chat, though. People asking him what is, has he had any iced honey buns? He said the worst thing he's eaten on his vacation so far was he said he had a bun that had too much bread, apparently.
Oh, no.
He couldn't eat both halves of the bun. He had to eat just one half of it.
Oh, man. Life is so hard down there. Come home, Tyvis. We have the right sized buns here in Columbus.
Yeah, it's a nice warm 43 degrees when I got in the car this morning. I said, what month is it? Why is it this chilly out? I don't understand. Nice. It was a nice clear night, at least when I was driving in. Got to see the thumbnail moon, as I like to call it. That was beautiful. But I wore shorts anyway, though, because I said, damn it, it's almost Memorial Day weekend. I mean, it is. This is Friday.
It is Memorial Day weekend.
It's the start of Memorial Day weekend.
We're starting it right now.
And it's freezing. Well, it's not freezing, but it's very cold. It shouldn't be this cold.
I can't believe it.
No, I don't like
Berm called it this morning on our show, October 257th. That's what today is.
Yeah. Well, last night they were even talking about yesterday afternoon when they started the Guardians game in Detroit. They were talking because it was raining and cold, and they're like, yes, it feels like it could be in the playoffs, like the weather you would expect in the Major League Baseball playoffs, but it's not. It's almost Memorial Day, and here we are with this cold, rainy weather. I'll be done. Whenever we can be done with this. I can't have the. I know on the afternoon show, Mike and Timmy, they love it like Scotland. That's their ideal weather. I hope they're enjoying themselves. Because I'll tell you what, when we get up to 80s, I'm going to be so happy. And they're going to be miserable, and I'll be thrilled. Because that's what it should be right now. We should be enjoying 80s and sun and just a little bit of a breeze. That would be perfect for this weekend.
I think when I land in Austin down by those Sunday hating Longhorns, it's going to be 97. So that's almost too much for me.
Yeah.
So that's went to the other extreme.
Yeah. I would like it to get. I was looking at vacations. Melissa and I are thinking we have our 20th anniversary coming up, and we're trying to figure out where we want to go. Just here in the States, probably not going abroad, but I was looking at just to see different locations. I looked at Palm Springs for a minute just to see what's it like out there. Yesterday in Palm Springs, it was 100 degrees. The Palm Desert out there doesn't mess around. It gets hot quick.
Sounds like a pass.
So what do you think it's going to be in July and August out there? It's probably 120.
Yeah, that's
no thanks.
I don't know if that's the spot.
No, I don't think it is.
Keep looking.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on looking. A lot of people feeling bad for Tony Reale, who was the host of Around the Horn on ESPN for many, many years. I didn't realize he took over that show in 2004. It started in 2002. Max Kellerman did it for a couple of years, and then he moved on. And Tony Reale, who had been stat boy on Pardon the Interruption, which has also been on forever, he moved over and did that show. And they've had a long run. Well, it came out a few months ago, I guess, that they're canceling Around the Horn. And I believe his contract is up in August. And it doesn't sound like he's getting renewed. I'm guessing that's probably partially why they're canceling the show.
Do they still need a stat boy on PTI? Can he go back?
Maybe he can go do that. But I have seen, and to his credit, he's done interviews where he said, you know what, I had a good run. We had a lot of fun. We're going to do a couple shows to close it out that should be pretty great. We're going to do some things that I think will be enjoyable. But, I'm not really, I didn't really get a huge explanation from ESPN. Maybe I don't need it. But he went on to say we had a good run and I'm satisfied with what we did. I think that's a reasonable, measured take. Whether off the air, behind the scenes, when he gets done with these interviews, he goes and cusses out ESPN. I could understand that too. But on the air, I think he's handling himself very well. I've seen a lot of media people come out wringing their hands for poor Tony Reale. How dare ESPN not continue his show? And now he's almost like he's a victim somehow. And I don't get that. As someone who's been in the media for a long time, you're in the same boat. I mean, we know the game. We got into this knowing at any point, anybody who employs us could say, never mind, I decided to go in a different direction. There's a million people who want to do these jobs. There are lots of people who are probably talented enough to do them. They just didn't get the opportunities. I'm privileged to get to do this. I'm blessed to get to do it. Tony Reale getting to do a TV show for 20 years on ESPN, it's going to end at some point. I don't feel bad for him at all.
I can tell you for sure, Bone, that a lot of us had goals and aspirations, and our ultimate destination was ESPN. I had the real pleasure and benefit of achieving that. It didn't last forever. It didn't last nearly 20 years. And because when I got laid off from ESPN, it was because they had to pay the salaries for those people that were on TV for 20 plus years. Stephen A. Smith most primarily, but also funding shows like Around the Horn and PTI. And that's fine. I get that. The level of impact that they had and the reach that they had on broadcast and doing it day after day after day, I totally understand. So I can relate and I can empathize with Tony Reale that this is coming to an end and you no longer get to stay at ESPN. But at the same time, I would have gladly taken 15 more years at the salary that he was making. So for me to feel like, oh, this is some crime against Tony Reale and this is an injustice, I don't feel that way. That's a long run at a high rate of pay and well into middle age for him, where I would bet if he was wise with his money, Bone, that he doesn't have to work again. And if he's upset that they're taking away this particular format for him, it's easier than ever. Anyone can buy a microphone. I don't know if those mute buttons are going to be easy for him to find all four of those looking like, trouble poppers out there.
Yeah.
But he could go recreate that on his own if he thinks that it still has a lifespan, if it untapped potential, whatever he feels, he can still do that. But I feel like this show ran its course.
Yeah, I guess I look at it too. It's the media people that I'm a little shocked by they all work in this business too. I think when we get into this, at least I think you're this way. I know I'm this way. Bodie Wells has told me this every day he's been here. He's like, hey, tomorrow I could get fired. Like, he knows. I mean, we fingers crossed, Bodie said. Well, it's just
not on a Saturday.
No, you don't want to get fired.
You're good tomorrow.
Today is the day you get fired. I mean, what a way to get fired too. If you work a morning show, it's like you walk in at 9:02. Hey, great. The weekend's just cleared up. I'm already off anyway.
Yeah,
great.
Let me know before Tuesday when we come back here at 6 or even 4, please.
You better be here before 6.
I don't know, man. I understand why fans of the show are broken up about it. If you've enjoyed it, if you've watched it all the time, I totally get that. That's different than the people who work in this business, who should know better, who realize that every day you're on the air, it's a privilege. You are lucky to get to do this. That doesn't mean that you don't want to get paid. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have your contracts honored. Like ESPN, if they have a contract with him, they can't just run off and not honor that. But once that's run its course, there's no reason that you should feel entitled to coming back on and being on the air. That's a different thing. And I feel like some of the medium people who are saying this are acting like they can't believe that the shows get 20 years on ESPN. 20 years. Yeah. That blows my mind that people, yes, I feel bad for him in the human sense of just, you have to find something else to do now. But like you said, he's developed a career for himself out of this. Now he can go off and he can go to another network and probably pitch them a show and they'll listen to him. He can go to investors and say, I got a YouTube channel idea I want to do. And they'll pump money into it to help it get promoted.
Yeah.
And he's got platforms that he can actually use to promote whatever he chooses to do if it's just on his own, in his own, up in his bedroom or something, if he wants to put a little camera up and sit there and talk about sports, he'll have a social media following that'll actually get him numbers right away.
Yeah, and I think the only part of it that rang false for me, it was Tony Reale doing these series of interviews and saying, well, the legacy of Around the Horn is this and that, and we pushed journalism, and sports media forward. I would argue that the opposite is true. There wasn't a lot of, or there was no actual journalism being done on that show.
Oh,
and it irritated me for a long time. It is why I just stopped watching. You can't have Woody Page and Bob Ryan, one being in Denver, one being in Boston, be experts on things that are happening in every sport all across the country. It was always fake. It was artificial. It was they read something and formed an opinion off that, which is fine. That's what most of us do. But I'm supposed to treat these guys as experts, as if they had talked to any of these people. They're local columnists and then given national platforms. It was great for them. It was a novel idea, but I couldn't really take it seriously. And I don't remember the last time I watched it.
Oh, I'm with you. A former coach sounds like he's calling out Bill Belichick. I'll tell you about it next. T-Bone and Tyvis with Austin Ward on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, pretty smooth sailing for your Friday commute, but we do want to let you know for folks up in Delaware County, we do have a road reopening for you today. State Route 229 has been closed between Smith Road and US 42 for about 2 weeks because of some pavement repairs. But of course, things are opening up today, so hopefully we'll save you some time. It was a little bit of a detour for the past 2 weeks, but again, a big difference today, so hopefully things are looking pretty good as you're stepping out the door for your holiday weekend. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
When you join the plus side with AAA, that's all you'll have to do. Or you could learn to change your own tire.
Hey fam, what's up? Today I'm going to teach you to change a flat. Before we start, make sure it's not raining, or hailing, or lightning.
Skip the hard work. On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
Introducing Ice Cream Quakes from UDF. Big chunks of your favorite candies and cookies blended with real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. We'll say that again. Real hand-dipped UDF ice cream. Pick your flavor, pick your mix-ins, or try one of our featured recipes. And get an ice cream quake made the way you want. Real creamy, real chunky, real. Ice Cream Quakes, new from United Dairy Farmers.
When you're starting a home improvement project, a few big questions always come up. Who can I trust? Will they be there if something goes wrong? And lastly, how much is this going to cost me? At Newman Roofing, we've been answering those questions for over 30 years. As a family-owned and operated company that takes pride in every aspect of the job, with family members involved in each department of the company, we treat your home like it's our own. That means clear communication, no shortcuts, and a white glove experience from start to finish. And when it comes to cost, we get it. That's why we offer flexible financing options so you can get the quality your home needs at a price that works for your budget. Don't just take our word for it. With over 700 5-star reviews on Google, families across Central Ohio are sharing their Newman Roofing experience. For roofing, siding, and gutter solutions built around family, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
It's Military Appreciation Month at Coughlin Chevrolet. Get double the GM military discount. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $139 a month or $119 for military. New Silverado, just $349 a month or $309 for military. Now at Coughlin Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Military discount for active reserve and retired military personnel and their spouse. 39-month lease with $39.99 due at signing for Trax. 36-month lease with $49.99 due for Silverado. Plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details and 6-25.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Buddy Wells in their first meeting since the American League Divisional Series last October. Tanner Bybee struck out 8 across 7 lights-out innings. Carlos Santana drove in a pair, and the Guardians beat the Tigers in Detroit last night 7-0. The two teams go again tonight at Comerica Park at 7:10. NBA playoffs. After receiving his MVP award in the pregame, he went out and played like one last night as SGA's 38-point night guided the Thunder to the 118-103 win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oklahoma City moves ahead in the Western Conference Finals 2-9. As for the Eastern Conference Finals, they'll play Game 2 tonight at the Garden at 8 o'clock. The Pacers lead the Knicks in that series 1-9. And in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it was another dominant performance by the Panthers as they beat the Canes in Carolina 5-0. The defending champs take a 2-0 series lead in the East Finals. This update is sponsored by BMI FCU. You can enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
Every time Tyvis laughs, take a drink. Just kidding. You'd be dead in 30 seconds. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971. Austin Ward in today. One more thing on Around the Horn. Tony Reale, after 20 years doing that show, 20 plus years, they are canceling it here in the next, I think it ends this week.
Today, I think.
Oh, today is the last day? Okay.
Yeah.
His contract with ESPN, I think, ends in August. So sounds like everybody's going to be moving on from that. There's been a lot of things written about it. One thing that I haven't seen enough people talk about is, as good as Around the Horn was at some things, and I know they had an audience, I think Around the Horn also is a little bit of a metaphor for what is wrong with sports coverage these days, where you have a guy sitting in the middle doling out points kind of mysteriously to people when they make points and have hot takes. And the more interested he is in your take, you get points. If that doesn't represent social media and the clickbait nature of our sports media coverage these days, I don't know what does. Because no one, I think, fully understands these algorithms who's in sports media. Everyone tries and learns as much as they can. But you see people posting stuff simply to go viral and simply to get the points from Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. And that, if that's not Around the Horn, just they did that before there was social media, to be clear. When Around the Horn started, Twitter wasn't a thing. YouTube, I don't even think was a thing. I'm not saying that they meant to do that, but it does kind of represent the issue we have in sports media now, where people just say stuff to go viral, and it really has no bearing on if it's true, accurate, or anything else.
That's my primary frustration with Tony Reale claiming that they pushed sports journalism forward. I think they pushed it backwards, or at least they pushed it in a way that I don't particularly enjoy myself. The embrace debate part. And some people like it. Some people love it. That's fine. I won't tell anyone what taste to have, but that show, even to get to the point we had, we're skipping some steps of evolution where it was like, all right, here's PTI. All right, let's spin that off to now Around the Horn. And they pushed it more aggressively forward because I think, you're having measured takes. And I know Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilbon aren't for everybody either. But you had Around the Horn, which then gave you the embrace debate era of Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless and Cold Pizza and all these things where it was just purely, you're going to argue this point and you're going to argue that point, and we're going to polarize this whole argument, or we're only going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I don't, to me, it rang false always. I didn't like it. It's not black and white in every situation to cover sports. I know that we should also have fun. So I sound like a old man yelling at clouds and to get off my lawn about Around the Horn. And that's not the spot that I want to be in either. But I don't know that it has to be that way. And that's why I stopped watching it personally.
I don't know. I think, though, you're right that there are those of us who've been around for a long time in sports media who look at that and go, it's not for me. But then you see the people that they have on that show. They have, like you said earlier, Bob Ryan and Woody Page, who aren't exactly like spring chickens. And they are the ones who've pushed this forward. If anything, I kind of feel like it's the under 30 crowd that's now going, I got it. What are we mad about now? Yeah. You're mad that the Celtics are doing this? Okay. Oh, good. You're talking about the Knicks again. Yay. Like, the Yankees you have a problem with. Like, that whole thing of we have to go for the major markets on the coasts. We have to talk about those sports that are contractually obligated to be talked about by our network because we play these games. We have baseball. We have NBA. We have NFL. But the debate just to have debate. Can everybody go on Around the Horn and just be like, yeah, I think we all agree that was the right thing to do? That was it. No.
I don't think that happens.
It doesn't happen. You
don't get points for that.
It's not the nature of the show. And I feel like it was a creative idea. I don't think it's a bad idea conceptually. I think the notion that it somehow brought journalism forward, if anything, it did this. It highlighted new voices in media who maybe wouldn't have had a platform. Sure, there are people out there who benefited from being on that show. Like Mina Kimes has been on that show. Pablo Torre's been on that show. Like people who now have big careers because of it. That is true.
Yep.
But just to say, giving points out for Woody Page being like, I think LeBron James is actually overrated. Hey, whoa. There we go.
+3.
Why? Why do we need that for the 1,000th time?
Yeah, I just didn't think that it was authentic. And I can understand why. Like when I had to cover the Big Ten as a whole for ESPN, I did not know Purdue and Indiana's depth chart the way that I know Ohio State's. So I felt uncomfortable and be like, well, can you write this story about this program and that program around the Big Ten? Because there were 4 of us covering that many teams. And I'm like, I will, but it's not going to be as good as someone who's there, which is how I feel about the people that were on Around the Horn. And even if you and I are sitting here right now and we disagree, it's not like we scripted it on here. Like, this is the argument I'm going to make. Like, no. Sometimes it's also okay to agree with your co-host.
It is just okay to say, yeah, I think we all can see what that is. Not to just, I have to step in here and disagree with you because, we have to fill 5 more minutes. And it's going to be really boring if we all just say, yeah, that sounds good. So on this show, I will tell you when I don't know something. I'm sure you do that on all your platforms too. It's like, hey, I know a little bit about
think it's
this,
such a bad idea to say you don't know something?
Because of shows like, I feel like in part because of stuff like this, where it's like, you got to have, Jim Rome back in the day, have a take, don't suck. The callers were expected to come in hot. And if you weren't hot, you got run. And they would play little sound bites and they'd, make fun of you. And now that's, instead of that being callers who are just trying to goof off for 30 seconds and make a radio show entertaining, now that's become our primary form of getting sports news. You watch the NBA coverage, and that's all it is. Like, I got to tell you, in this game, I think Anthony Edwards, I don't think he wants it. I don't think he likes it. It's like, why?
It's his legacy.
Right. We just have to do that constantly.
Blame pie.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
loss. Who we assigning the blame to?
Who gets the blame for the loss?
Who gets 75%? Who gets 10%?
No.
Great. I think it's awesome, honestly. I kind of love it.
Bodie,
should do it more.
There's the authentic debate right there.
Yeah.
Bodie's all on board. He's been embracing debate his whole career.
All right,
that's the man walking in with his Notre Dame sweatshirt into the studio where we got the Buckeye jerseys hanging up.
There you go. North Carolina, this little tidbit from Mack Brown, former North Carolina coach, right? He leaves. Bill Belichick comes in. He had this to say about the guy who's taken over for him. He said he thinks they're going to be very successful. He went on this thing about, I think they've got all set up now. He said, by the way, they helped Bill Belichick with academics. They've lowered those standards some. They've got the NIL money lined up. Like he kind of, and then he said, I'm rooting for him. But he kind of threw that in there of like, well, they did lower things for him to get some better players in there and make it a little easier to get guys academically eligible. Sounds like Mack Brown just kind of casually putting that out there just to make you aware. If Bill Belichick's successful, it's partially because of that.
Boy, it's been like 48 hours since I've got to talk about North Carolina football, which is just my favorite offseason subplot going on in college football. It's strange to me that Mack Brown, who he may have not been at North Carolina during the height of the academic cheating scandal going on there with both the football and the basketball programs. This is not one of those institutions that has been known for the highest standard with its athletic department. So taking shots on the way out, like Mack Brown is subtly doing here, is pretty laughable to me. This is a bizarre situation in every single way for the North Carolina athletic department and for Bubba Cunningham and Jordan Hudson popping in and out of the facility. But to suggest that they're making it easier for Bill Belichick to bring in players doesn't sound true to me.
Yeah. It feels like there's a lot of kind of bitterness there from Mack. I know he didn't sound bitter. If you listen to the clip, he sounds actually very much like, I'm rooting for him and I hope, and they'll do this. By the way, they've lowered the standards for him. Like,
that's the folksiness of him. That's what,
right. It's that way where you go, he seems very nice, but did he just slam me there? I think he did a little bit. And I feel like that's a little bit, I'm not in any way defending Bill Belichick on this, but I find it odd that that's where Mack Brown's like, oh yeah, he just came in and North Carolina just lowered their academic standards. Now, we do know North Carolina has whole cloth invented like an entire program for the basketball team many years ago and football players to go take a class that didn't even exist. So it's not necessarily that they're above that, but I think probably, if anything, they've learned that doesn't go well if it gets exposed. So they probably don't want that to happen again.
Yeah. So that they've suddenly become more rigorous? Like they're actually proving that these classes are real? Wait.
I still can't get over the fact that scandal wasn't bigger.
No,
we don't talk about that. North Carolina, who's viewed as one of the great academic institutions in America, let alone their basketball program, all that stuff, fully made up a department that did not exist and gave guys fake grades for classes they never went to. And it was many years ago. It did get talked about at the time, but how that doesn't come up way more often shocks the hell out of me.
Yeah, too hard for athletes to get into North Carolina. Sorry.
Jacob Reimer is listening right now and just ripping his steering wheel off of its hinges.
I was really hoping that he got to be part of this conversation, but I'll make it up to him later.
We'll find him and we'll just yell this at him, and then we'll get points for it. Well, someone will give us points for how well we yell.
He's going to mute us.
That's right. Oh, he could do that. That's right. Some major problems for a college football playoff possible contender. We'll give you that next. T-Bone and Tyvis with Austin Ward on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. All roads leading into and around the metro are looking fantastic for your Friday commute, but we do want to let you know about some possible slowdowns. This is because of some lane closures happening right now on 71 southbound in Madison County. Both directions there, just past State Route 56. That will be going on through fall of 2026. So unfortunately, a day like today, crews are still out this morning. So if you're in that area, just make sure to be very patient with them and just be prepared for any delays. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Rates as low as 5.54% APR and a $400 cash bonus when you refinance your auto loan with BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit bmifcu.org/refinance.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, you're the Carfax guy.
The Carfox from Carfax.
Wow.
And you, sir, work at Tire Discounters.
I sure do.
The Carfax top-rated service center.
Oh, right. You know, a lot of that's because of our services. But people think we're just about tires.
Maybe it's your name.
Yeah.
Tire Discounters and your jingle.
Oh, you like it?
I think it needs something.
Yeah? Like what?
Hit it. Plus brakes, oil changes, shocks, and struts, and more. Now that speaks to me.
Going up. Prices keep going up these days. It feels like being on an elevator that only goes up. Going up. But not at Metro. We're pushing the down button. Going down. We've lowered prices. Get one line of 5G data for $40. Period. That's 20% lower. And you get a free Samsung 5G phone when you bring your number. Only at Metro.
5-year guarantee on eligible plans. Exclusions apply. See website for details. Not available at Metro with T-Mobile in the past 6 months. Tax applies.
Get Eco.
Aaron, which brand of air conditioner is the most energy efficient?
It's the one that's had its outside coils cleaned correctly.
Well, I can wash those off with a garden hose, right?
No.
Why not?
Humidity mixes with dust and pollen to create a microthin film of sticky paste that gets baked onto those hot outside coils.
And that baked-on stuff keeps my coils from releasing their heat into the atmosphere.
Which means your system has to run longer, which uses a lot more energy and it shortens the life of your air conditioner.
Get Eco.
How do we get that baked-on stuff off?
Remove the exterior shroud, then spray the coils from the inside out with a special eco-friendly solvent.
Can I rinse the solvent off with a garden hose?
Yeah, but only from the inside out.
Or I could just pay Eco to do it.
Get Eco.
Eco doesn't take shortcuts. We do it the right way every time.
Get Eco professional coil cleaning for just $468.
Matty Ice here. When I need a new Chevy, I head to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion. Right now, get up to $11,000 off MSRP on a 25 Silverado 1500. They've got no market adjustments, no hidden costs, and sales managers are on the floor ready to help. That's been the McDaniel difference since 1916. They're just a short drive north off Route 23 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. McDaniel GM Superstore, where great deals meet a century of trust. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit OhioMulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders have contributed so much to politics, medicine, aviation, entertainment, and sports in the United States. This month, we celebrate these contributions, and we stand united in asking for what's right. Equal opportunity for every student, every educator, and every family.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at a mostly clear sky as we head throughout the day today, but an isolated shower that could pop up this afternoon. We'll move from chilly temperatures in the 40s this morning to the 60s later today. Temperatures will be back in the 40s tonight and make our way to the upper 60s of sunshine for your Saturday. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
2 men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can tweet the program at Bone and Tyvis 971. Ask Tyvis Anything is coming up at 7:30. However, Tyvis is not here today. Austin Ward is, so it's Ask Austin Ward Anything today. And we can throw me in, too. You know what? You can ask Bodie anything, too. But just tweet us at Bone and Tyvis 971.
Just ask the show.
We've got a question for the show, for Austin, for me. All that we'll do next. Also, you can jump in the YouTube chat and ask your questions there.
Or Tyvis is lurking, and you can ask him.
You can ask him stuff in there, and maybe he'll answer it. So I saw this story yesterday about BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff, who had a pretty good year last year for them. BYU had a pretty good year last year. Would they go like 10-2?
Yeah, pretty good last year.
And there are some people
missed out on the playoff.
Some people saying this year they may, they lost some talent, but if they can replace that talent, if guys take the next step, they could be right back in that same spot. Well, now Jake Retzlaff is being accused of sexually assaulting a Salt Lake County woman in 2023, according to a new civil lawsuit filed on Wednesday. This is all from the Salt Lake Tribune that reported it. She is identified in legal documents as Jane Doe, and basically says that he assaulted her in his home after they'd connected over social media, had been messaging for a month. She is suing Retzlaff in civil court for the alleged assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. She is asking the court for punitive damages from him. He has not been criminally charged as of Wednesday. The victim revealed that she has met with police after having a rape kit exam done at a hospital days after the alleged assault, though initially withheld Retzlaff's name. According to the lawsuit, the woman admits she eventually identified Retzlaff to Provo police after an officer asked her because, quote, someone else filed a complaint against a football player, and police wanted to see if it was the same person. So this story, we don't know what happened here. We obviously are not involved in this. We're just reading this headline, and his family has declined to comment. I believe that a lawyer representing him has issued a statement that said he is innocent, and they're going to fight this in court. BYU says they are aware of this, and they can't say anything because of privacy laws and all that stuff. Pretty much all the typical stuff you would expect from lawyer, accuser, and school in this type of situation.
And private university.
Right, absolutely. So this does not obviously look good for him. If any of this proves to be true, he shouldn't be playing football at BYU or anywhere else, and he should probably be in jail if that's the case. But I know some people will focus on the fact this woman filed a civil lawsuit and not, why didn't you just go to police? Well, it sounds like she did, and that's where I think this stuff gets totally murky. You've covered college sports for a long time. You've covered it in other markets than just here.
Yep.
Not every town is like Columbus, Ohio, when it comes to the amount of attention and media that something gets, the police departments, etc. Even in Columbus, as big as we have 2 million people that live here, plus in the metro area, it can get parochial at times. It can get a little protectionary of the big brands, but there's enough people here that I feel like you will find out more information as time goes on. Provo, Utah is not exactly a huge metro, and there's a lot of interest in keeping BYU in good light.
Yeah.
I don't know that their interests are always aligned. The police have a job to do, of course, but you can go read plenty of books about this stuff. Plenty of studies have been done on it. It's a very murky topic when you start getting into how interested are police departments in small college towns in investigating these things fully. How motivated is as a prosecutor to put this forward? So,
well, Provo itself is even unique compared to small college towns across the country. I've been there. I've covered games at BYU. I've had, I grew up with friends who were in that church and went to BYU, visited them while they were in college. I'm generalizing. I am not talking about this case specifically because I don't know anything.
We don't know anything about it, right?
But when it comes to, unique towns that may be more insular and protective from the outside, Provo and the influence of the church there is very unique. So I'm not talking specifically about Jake Retzlaff here or what may or may not happen with the civil court or if there is criminal charges coming beyond that. I don't know, and I won't around the horn this and have an opinion on it outside that. But I would. Right. What you're saying is fair and accurate to observe Provo in that way. Or I would. Laramie is in the same boat. Now it's very different that my university compared to theirs in what's funding that. One's public, one's private. One's a Christian school, one's not a Christian school. Because for all these reasons, it's different. But when you have a flagship university that is in a smaller community, like that is the focal point. That is the economic engine. And the athletic programs of them are what fund everything in that town, more or less.
A lot of bars and restaurants in
they're not going to,
and not just in Provo, but like I read the book Missoula by John Krakauer, which deals with Montana, and their issues that they had were multiple sexual assault allegations against football players largely went unprosecuted. And he went and did a deep dive on that. And you can see similarities not just in Missoula or anywhere. This is something that it makes sense when you realize the interest of an entire community largely is focused on protecting a certain entity. Hell, beyond that, you can go look at Spotlight, the movie Spotlight in Boston with the situation there where that Catholic Church diocese was protecting a bunch of criminal priests. That's not in dispute. That's been reported and accurately documented. Those are things that can happen in a city as big as Boston.
Yeah.
It can also happen in a small college town too. So, yeah, I think, not to put that in this context, but what I'm getting to is where this woman this victim, alleged victim, she went to the police report somehow wasn't generated for her. Does that mean she's telling the truth or lying? I don't know. She's going this route because apparently she didn't feel like she could get that relief through the police department and through that process. Is that because she has no case? Or is it because maybe there wasn't enough evidence based on what they found? Maybe not enough evidence against him per se? I don't know.
Yeah.
But the issue being here that just because someone files a case this way doesn't mean immediately throw it out. It also doesn't mean immediately say she 100% is telling 100% the truth. We don't know.
You have to let it play out.
Yeah, that's why they have these investigations. That's why this is going to court. And this is why now she's pursuing a different angle than maybe the one that initially went for her. We'll find out.
The primary question, and the primary question for me, Bone, setting aside the actual real life implications for this woman and for Jake Retzlaff, if he is innocent, let's set that part aside. I'm going to look at BYU and its handling because as you said, the date for this was November 2023. So how aware was BYU of this? They would have played him for the entire season, knowing that this was potentially out there. He became a pretty NIL, very nationally popular. He was tagged with a catchy nickname that I'm not going to say.
Sure.
Did they think that this was? They think he was in the clear all along? Did they know that there was a possibility that this was a serious, legitimate accusation that could lead to repercussions and play him through all this anyway?
It raises a lot of questions in that regard because it's hard to believe that a school like BYU wouldn't have heard there was a possibility.
There's an honor code there they're very proud of.
Very much so. And it doesn't involve, it obviously would preclude rape, but it would also preclude any type of allegations or anything like that. I mean,
it precludes alcohol.
Guys have been benched for drinking alcohol. Yes. I mean, it's a very strict school. So it's a very odd situation, and it's one that we'll keep an eye on because this is, not that this matters as much to the actual case, but just from a sports standpoint, this is a team and a school and a program that feels like they have a very good shot this year of being a big player in college football. How do they handle this situation knowing that their starting quarterback, who played well last year and could be one of the reasons why they have a chance, how do they handle this with this allegation out there? Yeah, I just want to point out when people look at why didn't this person come forward sooner or whatever, go read anything about sexual assault victims, go read anything about victims in general of crimes. There are a billion reasons why people don't file police reports. It doesn't always have to do with the innocence of the person being accused. Can't say what's true in this case, just saying in general, shouldn't dismiss or accept these allegations whole cloth either way.
Yeah, great point.
All right, that was extremely serious and not exactly.
Is it Friday? I don't know. Let's get. What do you got next?
How about we do ask Tyvis anything, even though he's not here? It's you can ask me, you can ask Austin Ward, you can ask Bodie. We'll all do that next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, if you are stepping out the door for your Friday commute, things are looking pretty green on our traffic maps here. We are still monitoring some lane restrictions, though, that are happening 70 eastbound between the Madison County line and Hilliard-Rome Road area. Road repairs still going on and will be going on to the end of 2025. Not noticing a lot of delays out there, but of course, if more people hit the road, we could expect some slowdowns. Just be well prepared if you're stepping out the door. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
I think I just wrote the song of the summer. Listen. That's just you drinking a big gulp from Speedway. And just 89 cents for any size with Speedy Rewards? That's a hit. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
One of these men is bald and fat. The other is T-Bone. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Got your fan poll for you today. You can go view it on Twitter. 971 The Fan. Bodie put this up. And it's going to require a little bit of work on your part, I think, Austin.
Okay.
Out of your memory banks. It certainly is for me. Fan poll is sponsored by Caster Connection. Among the Ohio State football teams that did not win the national championship this century, which do you think was the best?
2019.
Okay. Well, the options are 2006, 2015, 2019, or other.
I think 2019, in many ways, is better than the 2002 team, better than the 2014 team, and better than the 2024 team. But they don't have a trophy to show for it. Bodie, what day did you put that out earlier this week? Monday, Tuesday? It was about the championship teams. Which one would win?
It was a day.
It was earlier this week. Yeah, it was a day this week.
It was one of those days.
So
That's right, Bodie.
I got myself into a little bit of trouble reacting to that on the Buckeye show because I think I said the same thing. I think the 2019 team is the most talented, and I think that they were absolutely screwed. That's not up for debate. Everyone who can hear my voice knows that that's true against Clemson in the Fiesta Bowl. I took it one step further, Bone, and that is why I don't have to rack my memory bank. That team was so special, and I think there is so much revisionist history around 2019 LSU, and I will go to my grave believing that those Buckeyes would have beat the absolute brakes off of LSU in the national championship.
It would have been, if nothing else, it would have been one of the all-time epic college football games. Don't you think?
See, that's where because everybody tells me that, and I say, well, I think that's the revisionist history part. LSU's defense was one of the worst in the country. Joe Burrow won the Heisman because he was getting to play like 69-54 games against Ole Miss.
That is very true. He put up a lot of points.
They couldn't protect him, and so my feeling, and I can say this, and I'm saying it with my whole chest, and I believe it. If you have Chase Young going that LSU offensive line and Joe Burrow, and that whatever happened for Damon Arnett and Jeff Okudah once they got to the NFL level,
sure,
they were both first-round cornerbacks, and they both earned that during that season. You had Jordan Fuller patrolling that secondary, Sean Wade at his peak of his powers. Like, yes, I know that Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase were special. I think the collective talent level favored Ohio State because that LSU defense would have had absolutely no answer for Justin Fields, J.K. Dobbins, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. They could not have stopped him.
Oh, my God.
I think Ohio State could have run into some issues, though, because weren't they, kind of starting to get pretty beat up? I mean, wasn't Dobbins and Fields both they both had some lower body injuries for the hockey team.
There's a lot of elixirs and things that could have made them right for that one game. And I feel like the motivation would have been there to just, let's go see.
Didn't Dobbins get pulled against Clemson, though? Or
he was
because he got an ankle?
And
Fields
had to
had
come
the
out.
Michigan knee still kind of.
JK did have to come out with the ankle in the second half, which was one of the, 50 what ifs that did happen in that game.
Yeah. Among others.
Yeah, I mean,
How much time would there have been between those games? Like 11 days?
Yeah, there was still that buffer at that point.
Yeah.
10 or 11 days.
I feel like that doesn't mean anything if you have like a torn ACL, but I don't think that was the situation we're talking about. Like
No.
if it was anything less than like a severely sprained knee or ankle or something, you're still probably able to go and be somewhat effective on it. The threat of you being good would still be out there for like a J.K. Dobbins. So
Bodie's trying to ruin my.
I'm just asking questions. That's all. It's ask Austin anything. Is all I'm asking a question.
Hey, you know what? It's about time. Let's do it.
Get to know your resident national champion. It's time for Ask Tyvis Anything.
We'd love to, but he's not here.
I did cover
He's on vacation.
some national championships. So
there you go. You know what? We have a couple questions here. Andrew asked us. This is one you can jump into. He said, speaking of people yelling at each other, which we were at some point, I think. Oh, yeah, the around the horn stuff.
Yeah.
U.S. men's national team. How about our boy Sean Zawatsky getting a call-up? When is he getting a call-up to your show? You know what? We could have Sean Zawatsky on the show. I wouldn't have any problem with that. Great crew defender there.
Got to get that
midfielder.
Set up. Yeah.
Doing all the above. He's getting a call-up. That's nice.
He signed a happy birthday message for Liberty at the Meet the Crew event last
did he
summer.
really?
Great guy. Yeah, I had a great experience chatting with them, and some really good dudes on that team. Makes it fun to cheer for them.
Yeah, I feel like it's good to see some of the crew guys getting the call-ups that they are. They need to do that. That's good. And I hope that maybe they play better than the guys who aren't accepting the call-ups from the U.S. national team, like Christian Pulisic and many of his teammates who are very talented, who just are going to be too busy with their club stuff, or in Christian Pulisic's case, he's tired.
I thought that was where that question was going to go because they wanted to hear me yell again like I did at the show in the show yesterday.
For those who don't know, Christian Pulisic played like his club season. Now his national team wants him to come in a year before the World Cup and lead the team that he's supposed to lead into the World Cup next year, help them get some continuity. And he said, please don't make me go. I'm tired. And they said, and the U.S. national team said, all right, fine. I mean, what can they do? They can't force him to go there. That's not leadership. That's not good at all.
That's not Captain America. That is Winter Soldier.
That's right. Yeah. John says his Indy 500 pick is Alex Palou, who's a very good idea for the Indy 500. Very good driver.
Is that where your money is?
No, I'm not there yet. My heart and my money is on Pato O'Ward, who's been very close to winning this race, hasn't gotten the job done. But John said, I'm also watching Alexander Rossi, Takuma Sato, Pato O'Ward, and Malukas. I'm blanking on his first name, but they have a driver. He's like a young up-and-coming driver the last few years. He's been on the scene. He's kind of exploded. He's gotten close in some of these races. I think he could have a good chance. Anyway, John said a lot of cautions and Joseph Newgarden coming through the field, but runs out of time. Hopefully I'll hear your preview on the air this morning. I think it's going to be a big push for Joseph Newgarden, who got punished for cheating. Roger Penske, their organization, they fired like the crew chiefs of all these teams. He got punished. He's all the way to the back, but the car's fast. It's going to continue to be fast. He knows how to get through traffic. I think that is going to be the story of this Indy 500 is Joseph Newgarden, two-time defending champ. Can he weave his way all the way through the field, avoid the cautions, avoid the big wrecks, and try to go for 3 in a row, which would be very controversial if he wins.
I don't
cheating allegations.
I don't think people would like that.
No, they wouldn't. But this is if you are Pato O'Ward or any of these other guys who've been trying to beat him the last couple of years, now's your shot. Indy 500, where's that rank for you on the? You've got the Masters, you've got all these different one-off kind of events where I think most people who watch the Indy 500 never really watch auto racing, but they'll tune that in because it's a big spectacle and it's fun and it's interesting. Where does that rank for you? Is that pretty high on the list of those one-off sporting events?
Yeah, it's pretty high. I'd love to go. Like my father-in-law's talked about the Indy 500 and Kentucky Derbies and things like that, and wanted to make sure to check all those items off the bucket list. The Masters is number one for me. I can't believe I would do this. I wouldn't do it now, probably. But back in the days when I was covering Tennessee, I had several connections and friends. Like, we got Masters tickets. We got Thursday for this one or Saturday for that one, a practice round. And then I would go like, well, I can. Tennessee's spring game is this day, or there's a practice I got to cover. I'd like to think that now, approaching, middle age, that I'd be like, you know what? If I miss a day of work, I'm okay. But I was more in the Tyvis Powell mindset back then, and I missed that one. Masters is definitely up there. I've been to some others, U.S. Opens, Tour Championships for golf. I mean, that's the thing that's high up there. I checked off the absolute biggest one on the bucket list last year, Bone, which was WrestleMania in Philadelphia.
Oh.
So that was, and actually, it was an all-time year because had WrestleMania, got to go to that, see Cody Rhodes finish the story. SummerSlam was in Cleveland. Took liberty to that, like one of the greatest days of her life. But then we topped it. We've been to 3 legs of the Grand Slam for WWE because Royal Rumble was in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What an incredible year of wrestling that the Ward family had.
That's That's good times for your family right there. Those are some memories you'll never forget. That's awesome.
Yeah, living the dream.
I would love to go to a WrestleMania, but I feel like the only way to do it would be to try to be there for both nights and all like the week leading up to it, because the week leading up to it is when you have all there's the big merch like get-togethers.
WWE World, yeah.
Yeah, where all the like collectors and they bring all their stuff and hey, do you want a Macho Man doll from the 80s? Cool, I've got 50 of them. Here's the best one. And then you get to see the old wrestlers that are just sitting there and they're worn, they're a little haggard, but they're there and you can go say, hey, I remember watching you in the 90s.
So this was an accident. The hotel, I was using Marriott points in Philadelphia last year. Well, it turned out to be the hotel where WrestleCon was, which is exactly what you're talking about, with all the old memorabilia, merchandise, and then the old wrestlers are all in one place doing their signings. And so I was like, this is crazy. Like, we're in the midst of it. And when it wasn't on, you could just go walk through. Like, they'd leave their stuff out. The wrestlers are coming in and out, getting ready. I'm walking through, like, to breakfast, and Ric Flair is just downstairs at the bar, like, acting like the nature boy, and woo, and styling and profiling it. And he was Ric Flair the whole time. But, like, that was just, the Godfather is outside getting high, smoking some weed. I'm like, this is the perfect WrestleMania, and that part happened solely by accident.
That's better than my Ric Flair story. Was I saw him at the Jackets opener. Was that last year, I think, when they brought him in? Not this past year.
With the energy drink? Yeah.
Yeah, where he was promoting the energy drink. And he's walking around the concourse. And, of course, he's, shaking hands, taking pictures. And then all of a sudden, they kind of get to where the bathrooms are. And his management people are like, folks, okay, he's going in there. Just leave him alone. And, of course, everyone's like, oh, okay, sure. And then you see this, again, very old man who is obviously very famous walk into the bathroom. And no joke, the minute he walks in, I hear from the bathroom just go, woo! Like just yelling woo at this man as he tries to take a dump. And I thought, just let this not poor. He's obviously done well for himself in his career, but let the man
he's
poo.
Limousine riding, jet flying.
Let him poo.
Yeah,
just leave him alone. And I'm sure he's getting it in the stall. People just waiting, like, when he comes out of there, I'm going to get his autograph. And it's like, let him wash his hands. Come on. What are we doing?
I'm going to let him give me a knife edge chop before he washes his hands.
Just people standing there with ripping their shirts over, like, come on, Rick.
Come on, hit me.
Just hit me. Hit me in the chest. Woo! You want to watch Sunday Night Baseball, get ready to speak Peacock or Apple, potentially. We'll talk about it next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. No major slowdowns if you want to go ahead and start your holiday weekend commutes. We are looking at the airport and what we're seeing right now, 670 westbound, eastbound looking great with drive times there. Even 270 southbound looking pretty good for your Friday. All other major interstates and roadways leading into the metro looking pretty fantastic. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Hiring today for tomorrow with WM.
A stable career and a safe environment. That's what you get as a heavy-duty mechanic at WM.
Plus great benefits like 100% tuition coverage for you and your family.
WM is now hiring heavy-duty mechanics in Columbus. Get boot and tool allowance and additional pay with a Cummins certification or CDL license.
There are openings for CDL truck drivers too with home daily routes.
Apply online at careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
A people-first, military-friendly, equal opportunity employer.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here to help keep you on the road so you can soak up all the summer fun. The road tunes.
Take me out to the ball game.
Hotel pools. Emergency ice cream stops. The sunscreen and bug spray everywhere.
It's in my eyes.
At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, we're here for it all. So stop in for a quick oil change before you go. Only takes about 15 minutes. No appointment needed.
College
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, jermainelexus.com.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through May 31st, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now with Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down per $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting hinderermotorcompany.com.
Bishop and Friends.
Remember, you and I went to Gillies in Dallas, and there was a mechanical bull there that I think you could have thrived on. I did that one time, and I broke my pelvis.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
It's time to make your yard the best on the block with Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot. Start by keeping the weeds at bay with Earthgrow Mulch, now 4 for $10. Then keep your garden thriving with Miracle Grow Garden Soil, now on special buy, 4 for $10. Give your neighbors yard envy all summer long with Memorial Day savings going on now at the Home Depot.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these men was prom king. It was T-Bone. I swear to God, you think I'm lying, don't you? But I'm serious. He didn't always look like this, okay? Here's the prom king and Tyvis.
All right, coming up on the show, at some point today, Austin, we have to talk about a food crime that I saw on the internet involving a pizza that, and I would rarely say this, a pizza that is too large.
You have to be careful.
Right. I think I love pizza. Tyvis Powell hates pizza.
What?
Well,
You've got to be kidding me.
Tyvis says it's overrated.
Overrated how?
Dude, the battle I fight with him on this, where he says it's all pretty much the same.
All right.
He said, now, if you're talking wings are different. Loves chicken wings, but says the pizza, you can take it or leave it. It's kind of the same. Why do people have to get pizza on Friday nights? I hear this all the time from him.
Gosh.
And I'm like, dude, it's a cultural institution in food in America and elsewhere. But it's just become a thing that a lot of us grew up with, where you just get pizza once a week, and it's usually on a Friday night or Saturday night. It's usually a gathering point for the family or whatever. You watch a big game, get a pizza. It's just kind of a thing.
All right. Well, I am the right guy for this conversation then today, Bone, because when I was on Awaken 180, it made me realize more than ever that pizza is by far the best food ever invented and my favorite. And the first time that I was able to, because there was no bread going on during that program. The first thing that I could eat was, and I was like, "You're ready? You ready? Yeah, we're going to Gallows, and I'm getting 2 slices of Sistine Chapel.
There you go.
And
it's the way to do it.
It's pure heaven.
My guy Nick Gallo knows what he's doing with the pizzas.
That pizza, people ask all the time, what do you think is the best pizza place in Columbus? And I know that there are institutions all over, and I would never besmirch any of them. But I said, well, you're not thinking about this place, and it doesn't really advertise itself as a pizza joint. But when I tell people where the best Columbus pizza is, my opinion is I'm going to Gallows.
Gallows says, well, they have a few different locations now, and they have the one up in Dublin that's got like
in the market.
Pizza. Yeah, it's got a pizza focus to it, and that place. I went there the other night and saw Nick, good dude. Matt Andrews, big fan of Nick Gallo.
Oh yeah,
like they hang out, good buddies.
That's the first time I met
Neil Sika, another legendary dude in Columbus media.
Yeah,
he hangs out with that crew, and so I go with them sometimes. But he brought out a pizza that was literally just tomatoes and olive oil on bread. That's it. And whatever seasonings and stuff they did. No cheese. I love a cheese pizza. It worked. Let me tell you, it is a top 5 pizza I've ever had. Whew. He put it on there. I think he said it's the pizza his dad used to make for them.
Okay.
And so if you go up to the one in Dublin, which they're all great, but that new spot they have, get that tomato pie and tell me it's not good. It's unbelievable with the olive oil and just mashed tomatoes. You wouldn't think, when you hear pizza, you think, I got to have some cheese, I got to have some toppings. You got all you need with that pizza. It's a top 5 I've ever had.
Yeah. Allie and I, when we moved to Columbus, we moved into Olentangy Commons so we could walk over there, and we did frequently. Obviously fell in love with it. But they had just one day, it was the special. It was caramelized onions, ricotta, and bacon.
Oh.
And we're like, holy cow, this might be the greatest thing ever. We ordered it last week. It has to be our special order. They don't ever put it on special anymore because we're the only ones that order it. But they made it one time, and we're like, they nailed it. You got to have it again.
Well, yeah. They know what they're doing with pizza. There's plenty of good spots that do, but you're right. All the Gallows locations, pretty much, any of the pies they serve, you're going to be in good hands there.
That's right.
You know what? Real quick, we're going to go back to pizza because I'll tell you about the crime against pizza. But first, I tease this. I'll bring it up.
Pay it off.
Apparently, ESPN, we know that they're not going to do Sunday Night Baseball anymore. They're done with their package, so it's being shopped around. Apparently, Peacock is very interested. They're talking to Major League Baseball about it. So is Apple. It's not clear on who's going to end up winning this battle, but Peacock for sure wants to get not only that, but they also, NBC wants to get the Home Run Derby. They also want to get the first round, the play-in wild card. Yeah, they want to get that as well. And I'm guessing if they get it, it's going on Peacock. So yet another thing that you will probably see end up, if NBC wins that bidding war, it will be behind at least some of it. Some of that baseball will be behind a paywall. If Apple wins it, it's all going to be behind a paywall because it's Apple. I mean, you have to pay to play there. So, yeah, just be aware if you're a baseball fan, this is where it's headed. I'm sure baseball's audience tends to skew older. We also know that from all the research that's out there, typically the older television viewer is the least interested in adding into all of these different, you pay for this, pay for that. So I feel you on that. I'm with you. I kind of get sick of it too. But I think that's a recipe for disaster for baseball. If you start putting stuff behind paywall, that will kill those entities. You will not see the viewership numbers you've ever had before.
No, it's a strange business choice considering the target audience there for Major League Baseball at this point. And frankly, I'm surprised to see Apple in that mix because I don't personally feel like the MLS package has succeeded there. I think it has damaged the league as a whole. I remember, you and I are certainly the target audience to watch MLS games around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do it anywhere near the level that I did 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when there was going to be a Sunday game in the afternoon, when there was, a Wednesday night. You could find that on ESPN2. It's not like that, or FS1 would have games and, whoever, Stu Holden would be making those calls. At least you had other options. And if MLS games were on, I would watch. Now they've structured it in this way where almost every game is at the exact same time. You can't watch the rest of the league, and following the rest of the league is more difficult than it has ever been.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. And I think that's, as an MLS fan, I have the Apple package. I do watch the crew games on there. But every time I want to watch an MLS product, I have to opt out of what I usually watch TV on, which is I have YouTube TV. That's That's our cable, for lack of a better term. I have to opt off of that screen and over to another series of clicks to get to the Apple just to go watch something else, which to me is the same as if I'm going to watch Netflix or Amazon or anything else. Major League Baseball is going to find out. That's not a hard thing to do for me to click off of something, hit a few buttons and get over to Apple. But ask me how often I do it. Very rarely.
1 out of 10.
Unless it's the crew, which that's appointment viewing for me. I'm going to sit down and watch. But when I go to turn on the TV at night just to see what's on, I flip it on YouTube TV without even thinking, because that's my number one thing we watch. And then I scroll through until I find something to watch. And usually it's a game or something that I at least knew was on. But now a lot of MLS games are not there. Major League Baseball goes down that road.
You're not going to see it. It's out of sight, out of mind.
WNBA game, the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese game, the debut game for them this past start of the season. That did better numbers than Sunday Night Baseball with the Mets and Yankees. $2.7 million for the WNBA, $2.5 million for Mets Yankees. Those numbers will continue to go down if you put this on Apple TV or Peacock.
Yep.
So good luck with all that. All right. Pizza crime happening. Next, we will talk about it. It's T-Bone and Tyvis with Austin Ward on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Friday. No major accidents or delays to report for right now, but we are noticing a road closure that will be happening starting at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hilliard Rome Road, just south of Manor Park Drive. This is the west side of Columbus here. They are fixing some broken rails over there by that railroad there, so make sure to keep crews in mind as you are heading into this direction. A good detour, though, would be taking Fetter Road to Alton Darby Creek Road and back onto Broad Street. A nice little loop there for your Friday. I'm 10 TV's Brianne Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
As men get older, our bodies change. We all know that, and often we just accept the changes as the way it is. But some of those changes, such as bad sleep patterns, low sex drive, brain fog, no energy, and reduced gains in the gym could be due to low testosterone, and that is something you can change. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and even if you're in your 30s or if you're experiencing some or all of the symptoms I just noted, you very well may need low testosterone treatment. With our treatment protocols, if you're like most men, you'll be amazed at the change. You'll have more energy, improved mental clarity, and your sleep will be better, so will your workouts, and you'll likely find your sex drive increases too. So give us a call today and make a change for the good. And for a limited time, new patients will get their initial appointment free, which includes blood work and a medical consult, because we believe low T treatments could have an incredible impact on your life. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
This summer, something wild is coming to your Columbus Zoo. The all-new North America Trek opens soon. Get closer than ever to Mexican wolves, river otters, and more in stunning new habitats. Experience wildlife and conservation in action. Plan your visit today at columbuszoo.org.
The standing room only, with all eyes on the 18th green.
That's a good-looking ball.
The sudden roars. That Sunday celebration.
Jack always made the putt at 18, and today Scotty Scheffler did.
Witness the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday, May 26th through June 1st. It's second to none. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Wow, what a shot.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
Dealin' Days are back at Lindsay Honda. Lock in your deal in May. Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas. Simply pick your new 2025 Honda and enjoy 0% for up to 60 months. Yes, 0% for up to 60 months on all new 2025 Hondas, including HRV, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Lindsay's got it, and you're gonna save.
See you, Lindsay Honda, during Dealin' Days. See lindsayhonda.com for details.
This just in, the NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, everybody. Well, starting with baseball, Tanner Bybee struck out 8 and allowed just 3 hits in 7 scoreless innings. Angel Martinez drove in 3, and the Guardians beat the Tigers in Detroit last night 7-0. They'll play the second of the 4 games set tonight at 7:10. After an off day on Thursday, the Redlegs, they're back at home tonight as they begin a 3-gamer against the Chicago Cubs at 6:40. Stanley Cup playoffs, Sam Bennett scored twice, and the Panthers rolled the Canes in Carolina 5-0 as Florida takes a 2-0 series lead in the Eastern Conference Finals. And in the NBA playoffs, the MVP SGA scored 38. Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren each scored 20+, and the Thunder beat the Timberwolves in OKC last night 118-103. Oklahoma City moves ahead in the Western Conference Finals 2-9. This update is sponsored by BMI FCU. You can enjoy rates as low as 5.54% and a $400 cash bonus when you refinance your auto loan with BMI FCU. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan.
The next time Tyvis hits a home run in softball will be the first time Tyvis hits a home run in softball. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Tyvis isn't here today. He's at a wedding. He's in Miami. Austin Ward is joining me today. Thanks for coming in the last couple days early, Austin. We appreciate it.
Stoked to be here.
Yeah, it's been fun. We've found about your love of pizza, which most people love pizza.
I didn't think I'd be breaking news to say that I love pizza, but I guess on this show, that's...
Tyvis is, Bodie's seen it, right? Where Tyvis just now is I think he's trying to help me. Yeah. I really appreciate it because he's trying to downplay the amount of good that pizza is because he knows that I love pizza and I probably should not. I probably need to take in less pizza, get myself in a little better shape, but Tyvis just has gone to a point now where he says it's overrated.
That can't. It's
Bodie, are you
love pizza,
right?
don't you?
Yes, okay. I'm not insane, so yes, I do love pizza. Yeah,
just working with him sometimes about that.
Apparently, we have to state that on this show if you love pizza or not.
Well, I've learned with Tyvis over the years is when he has an opinion on something, he's really going to dig deep in that foxhole. He might be the only person on planet Earth who's in that foxhole, and he's going to do a very good job of reminding you of it every opportunity that he gets.
You're saying it's probably just best to let him finish. Is that right?
Exactly, yeah.
By the way, Guardians, we didn't talk about it too much today. Guardians finished off Detroit last night. Epic victory there for them, 7-0. I know it's only one game, but you got a great start from Tanner Bybee. Who was it that came in, their reliever that came in and just shut him down 1-2-3, and then 7th inning? That was Cade Smith that came in. Bases juiced, nobody out. 1-2-3, struck out the side, knocked down the Tigers. It's only one game. You're still out 5 games, but
one at a time.
You know what? If you split this series, if you're a Guardians fan, that should feel pretty good. You know what you did to them in the playoffs last year? It's been a little rough go for the Guardians of late, but that was a nice one for them.
Yeah,
so good to see.
Turn the tide a little bit.
Reds have the Cubs tonight, starting off the 3-game series, so we'll have all that for you.
Which version of the Reds will show up?
No kidding. All right. Pizza crime that I can't abide. This comes to us, sadly, for you from Texas. I know you're a big Texas guy. Going to Texas today, as a matter of fact, taking the family on a trip.
Going to go play our new song.
Oh, don't worry. We'll cue it up for you again if you missed it. We got a song about Texas with Art and the
official
intelligencers. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, Beth and Brandon Duhan, Chris's relatives, I believe. Chris Duhan. Anyway, they got married earlier this month in Rio Frio, Texas. Familiar?
Down there on that river.
Okay.
Rio Frio.
Sure. Well, they
made a mistake.
They hired a company called Dirt Road Cookers to make an 8-foot wood-fired pizza to serve their 160 wedding guests. And I feel like this is a crime against pizza. An 8-foot pizza, there's no way that can be good. I'm looking at pictures of this thing. It obviously has different sections. One section is like just cheese. One is pepperoni. One appears to be like vegetarian. The cutter they use to, pizza cutter, the little roller thing, they have like a 3-foot-long metal pole with a giant dinner plate-sized object used to cut this pizza. I don't care that you said you made it in they have apparently a custom wood-fired oven that this company brings out to cook your pizza in.
I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, I'm seeing it. I mean, you can go look at the video of it, and you can see this giant oven contraption that they tow it behind a truck.
How about I say I don't trust it?
Oh, there's no way this pizza was good. There's not I mean, relatively speaking, pizza can always be delicious in some way, shape, or form. But 8 foot long, if you're cutting that into triangles, there's no way. Those are going to be like the thinnest triangles imaginable. And then you're going to have, 4 feet of triangle? Like, that's stupid.
Well,
so they have to cut it into squares, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're going to be by the time you get to that middle, the middle of a regular sized square cut pizza, which I enjoy, I love all of it. But the middle is where you get all the grease coagulating and
nobody's grabbing the middle piece first.
No, you go for the crusts because you get the edges in there, especially those triangles you get when you do a square cut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the 4 triangles on a square cut, that's if no one else takes them. I let everybody get. But if they don't go for those triangles, that's my first 4 pieces. Just that all right there. My own little miniature pizza.
They're gone.
I eat them all. I love those.
Yep.
There's no way the middle of this pizza was even cooked. It had to be dough and cheese. It had to be like one of those Youngstown pizzas with the cold cheese on top, which can be good. They do a very good job with that, but not if the dough is also melted and gross. And the grease was probably all just matriculated down to the middle of that. It had to be just a wad of pizza goo. It probably wasn't even a real pizza at that point.
Yeah. I mean, Texas loves to tell you how everything is bigger down there, but that bigger does not mean better. In this case, wouldn't you have rather had 100 individual pizzas?
Absolutely.
Seems like a better use of everyone's time.
And they could have made them in this giant, I'm looking at this thing that they used to cook the pizza. They easily could have just made 100 pizzas in this thing all at once and then taken those out and then put another 100 in, and you'd have more than enough for the guests, and everybody could have what they want. You could put it'd be like you do at most weddings where it's do you want the chicken? Do you want the fish? Do you want the vegetarian option? And you can just do that where it's here's your pepperoni, here's your cheese, or here's our specialty pizza with whatever they like to do. And then you could say, I'll have one of each. Whatever. That would have been fine. Instead, they made an 8-foot pizza like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, Rio Frio, that's probably, 45 minutes away from where I'm going to be this weekend. No chance I'm taking the family over there to go try these people out.
Don't try it. No, don't eat an 8-foot pizza.
We're walking over to Inferno's Pizza anyway. That's where you go. That's where we're going, and we're getting.
What kind of pizza you get there? What's the best thing that they have?
They have the best thing is this will sound crazy, and it looks crazy. It's got pulled pork and mac and cheese on it.
Oh,
and
I'm already in.
Yeah, it's so good. And then they've got some beer Ritas, a little different frozen flavor of the margarita. You got your Corona or whatever dumping it in the bottom there. You get a couple of those out on the patio down there, you're living nice.
Sounds fantastic.
The girls like it. They have just like plain, garlic breadsticks and dip it in the marinara sauce. I don't know. It's a nice little start to the meal, but the girls just get like an order of that themselves. And they like Liberty eats 10 pieces of these breadsticks. So they've got top-notch crust is what you can learn if you can just throw that garlic out there plain and dip it in marinara and you're good to go. But this pizza, yeah, we're gonna need a couple of those.
Yeah. Alex, by the way, says 8-foot pizza, sign me up. I don't think so. I think the edges would be fine, but once you get to that middle, if you're stuck and you're like the 12th table dismissed to go get your pizza and it's all the edges are now taken, and you're going for the soggy middle, it can't be good.
Well, I mean, you can have 8 individual pizzas. Like,
yeah, do that.
Not saying that there's a limit on how much pizza you can have. We're taking exception with the way it's cooked and the way that it is delivered to you.
No, you can't. 8-foot pizza, there's no way it could work.
Not working.
Mike says, I'm a middle first guy.
He is.
All right. That's rare. I don't understand going for the middle first on a square cut pizza.
Can we track the IP address and send the cops to this guy's house? I'm concerned.
I just feel like if you're not getting that crust in there, right? I mean, that's a part of it. You got to have I want the edge crust to be good, especially if they put a little garlic and Parmesan on there, something nice like that. I mean, I don't want to waste that.
I want to be nice. There may be a possibility that middle piece, some of the toppings have all fallen into the middle, or you start, whoever's making the pizza, they start in the middle, then they work their way out. Maybe you get extra toppings there. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, I'm still concerned. We probably are. By the way, I have great news, Austin, given your job.
Okay.
Breaking news here. You can already start writing the articles.
Okay.
Buckeyes are going to win the national championship this year.
Oh, that's helpful.
I already know why.
Pre-writes.
Right? It's already done. Just start writing up the articles. Just plug in names like so-and-so had a great game passing the ball to so-and-so.
Jeremiah Smith. I can put that in there.
You can put that in there, of course. Yes, that'll be fine. But we know the Buckeyes are winning the national championship. I will tell you why next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We are noticing a crash that just popped up on our time saver traffic map. This one happening at US 33 westbound, just at the 270 north intersection. Right lane is blocked right there, causing a lot of delays and congestions. So if you are heading in the area, be sure to be a little patient. But again, the roads are open, so traffic will be moving a bit slowly. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores, so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Limit 10. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
At 9 Trees Landscape Construction, we have high expectations. Can you deliver excellence in hardscape at the highest level? Does your current company compensate you at the highest level? For 25 years, 9 Trees compensates excellence with wages and benefits packages guaranteed better than your current employer. Guaranteed. Call 614-921-9595 or apply at 9treeslc.com today to join 9 Trees Landscape Construction and elevate your career to be your best with us.
Bobby Carpenter is taking morning juice to YouTube. Catch Bobby and Tito on the Fan's YouTube page weekday mornings from 6 to 8. More Bobby, less commercials, and you can watch him scratch himself.
Decent people everywhere will get offended.
The Fan.
Proper tree care is an investment that can lead to substantial returns and increased personal enjoyment. Hiring a certified arborist can help care for your trees and add considerable value to your property. Inspections by Ohio ISA certified arborists can often find and mitigate tree defects before they fail. Only professionals with specialized knowledge and training are properly equipped to provide appropriate care. To find an arborist, visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Have you ever told a friend?
Oh, I'm fine.
When you really felt?
Just so overwhelmed.
Or sent a text?
Can't sleep. Are you awake?
When you couldn't find the words to say?
I'm scared to be alone with my thoughts right now.
Then this is your sign to reach out to the 988 Lifeline for 24/7 free confidential support. You don't have to hide how you feel. Text, call, or chat anytime.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. Get ready for a chilly start to the day, but we'll make our way from the 40s to the low 60s this afternoon as more sunshine pushes through the region. Isolated shower not entirely out of the question. Tonight we'll drop down into the 40s, partly cloudy. More sunshine for your Saturday, getting back into the upper 60s and staying dry for Sunday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
T-Bone and Tyvis is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
You can check out the friends of ours at Prime Sportsbook. They got a welcome deposit match offer. Here's the deal. Deposit up to $400 in your account, your first deposit. Whatever that is, up to $400, they will match with bonus bets for you only at Prime Sportsbook. And those bonus bets are good for up to a year. I keep telling people, put in your initial deposit. You get the bonus bets. You don't have to use them right away. You could use them come football season. Maybe you want to wait until there's some local hockey going on that you want to place a wager on. Whatever the case, go download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com to get started betting their reduced juice. They have better odds for you. It's a little bit more technical, but if you know what that is, that means you get a better deal. So Prime Sportsbook, go check them out today. You can download the Prime Sports app anywhere you get your apps. Just go download it there. Additional terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Play responsibly. We have...
You gave a futures bet. That was the tease.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, kind of. You could look at what Ohio State... I didn't actually check to see what Ohio State's doing on Prime Sportsbook for the national championship odds. I'm guessing they're somewhere in the realm... realm?
The realm.
The realm. Somewhere in the realm
This is the Texas show.
Prime Sports probably... I'm going to guess they have them somewhere. Bodie, see if you can look it up.
I think they're like plus 500.
I was going to say between like plus 400 and plus 800 is what I would guess. Probably one of the favorites. Top 2 or 3.
Most places, I can't speak for Prime. I haven't checked recently. Bodie's doing that right now. But right now, for all this hullabaloo about Texas and people trying to get on board the Penn State bandwagon to make them the trendy preseason number one, most sports books, and I am going to guess that Prime is the same, still believe Ohio State is the favorite to win the national title.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm thinking still there's a lot of people who just are always going to say, well, they're the defending national champs. I'm a Buckeye fan. I feel strongly about my team. Even if you're not a Buckeye fan, it's probably just one of the safer bets out there that they will be in the mix this year again with all the talent that they always have. So, that all being said, here is why Ohio State will definitely win the national championship this year. No questions asked. And it is because the playoff format is changing again. And we know that whenever that happens, When they changed the playoff format in 2015, where we added a playoffs for the first time, Buckeyes won it then. This year they added a 12-team playoff, Buckeyes won it then. Now, we're still going to have a 12-team playoff next year, but the vote came down yesterday. They all agreed that what they're going to do is go with straight seeding this year instead of the, well, you are technically the 12th team, but you won the Big 12, so now you get to be the 4 seed. All that convoluted madness ends if you are ranked number 1, 2, 3, and 4 at the final BCS selection show. Then you are the 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed. It doesn't matter if you're a conference champion or not. Bodie Wells is flipping over backwards because that means Notre Dame can actually be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed this year.
God bless independence, baby.
Had to bend over backwards for Notre Dame. Had to make it happen.
They get to go out there and put out a press release and act like they're doing us all a big favor. Oh, we did this evaluation of the format, and straight seeding does make more sense. Oh, really?
Right.
You didn't know that beforehand?
No, they had to. I mean, they wanted to reward, whether you think this is valid or not. I kind of don't at this point. I don't really see the value in it. Well, if you're the conference champion, you should get one of the top 4 seeds. And I think if all the conferences were at the level of the Big Ten and the SEC, that would be valid. But the ACC isn't. Big 12 certainly isn't. And I think that caused some of the chaos you saw last year. I think you will actually, with this seeding model, have more games that are lopsided. I think you will have some weird, matchups that probably won't be as entertaining, but that's okay. At least it makes more sense.
Bill Connolly with ESPN and the S&P Plus rankings actually went through a really interesting story on ESPN.com about what this seeding how it would have changed last year's bracket. So you can look at it just 1 through 12, but then he took it forward and said, well, here's what the projected spread was going to be. And they were much larger for those 5 versus 12 games. They were not going to be as competitive, but we all knew that was going to be the case. You look at even first-round NFL playoff games are often not very competitive. It is hard to build more than 4 or 5 powerhouse programs at a time in college football. There's not still enough talent to go around, and that extends when you get to the NFL level as well. So it actually didn't change anything. Ohio State's order of competition, they started with Arizona State instead of Tennessee. They were a bigger favorite. Didn't matter. They blew out Tennessee.
Yeah.
It changed around. I think, Texas was going to be in the second round instead of in the semifinal. They would have been, Oregon was the number 1 overall seed. They would have seen them at some point. The way that it actually worked out, he played it out. He still had Notre Dame versus Ohio State in the championship. So maybe it wouldn't have made any actual difference.
Did it go better for us this time?
No, he just took last year's. He said, well, these teams actually played, Bodie, so I don't need to reproject it. We have some data, unfortunately for you. The Buckeyes were favored. And then he said, I think they're going to win.
I think that would have been great, Bodie, if he had projected. No, this time that Notre Dame would have won it. You go hang that virtual banner up
27-20, Notre Dame.
On second thought, we have new champs.
Here, you're talking about it, but I actually pulled up the entire. Here's what the seeding would have been last year if we had this straight seeding format that we have now. Your 1 through 4 seeds: Oregon 1, Georgia 2, Texas 3, Penn State 4. The 5 through 12 matchups: 5 and 12, Notre Dame and Clemson. Obviously, Notre Dame's winning that. But then they would move on to face Penn State. Good game.
Saw that.
Yeah, we saw that too. How'd that go for your guys, Bodie?
50 Shades of Blue and Gold, baby. Christian Gray. Saving the season.
Then you would have had in this, and this would have made Sean McDonough happy. The 8-9 game would have been Indiana and Boise State. Might have been a little bit more of a competitive balance to that game. Winner of that would have played Oregon. Probably would have been better for Oregon. They would have had a chance,
Indiana was, I think, in the S&P Plus, if you want to use it. I think they were like a 9-point favorite over Boise State.
I still think Indiana would have won.
Sean McDonough still would be mad about it, but
it might not be as bad as it was for them going to Notre Dame.
That's right.
Then you'd have Ohio State taking on Arizona State. So we would have all found out just how overrated Cam Scadaboo is. And Ohio State would have made quick work of him.
It was like a 15-point spread that he had projected for that.
It wouldn't have been close. You wouldn't think. Then again, Arizona State did keep it interesting, right?
With Texas.
With Texas. Then you would have had SMU and Tennessee going head to head, and then the winner of Ohio State Arizona State, by the way, would have played Texas. The Tennessee SMU winner would have played Georgia. So, that could have. That's whether that's fair or not, whether it's better games or not. I just think it makes more sense and it's easier to understand. You and I were talking as we were walking out of the studio yesterday about how soccer's biggest issue. We were talking to Eric Reeser as we were leaving, And he was like, so what's this Gold Cup thing? And we were trying to explain to him what the Gold Cup is. And he's like, yeah, this is why it's hard for me to follow. And that's exactly right. Like, soccer is convoluted with a lot of the European leagues, and this is a World Cup game. This is a Gold Cup game. This is a international window. Nobody outside of hardcore soccer fans understand what all that is.
Right.
College football does not need to start going down that pathway. The easier you can make it to understand how your games are going to be played and what is at stake, that's very easy. And the reality is now, yes, leaves more power to the College Football Playoff Committee. They can basically decide who gets the 4 byes based on nothing else other than their own whims and wants. But at least that's something that we're all kind of used to at this point, and that's probably going to be more preferred by most college football fans.
Yeah, the issue that they ran into, if you're talking about convoluted, most people around the world understand how brackets work and how seeding works, and you can read it. If you have to put out a bracket that has 2 numbers next to it, because, they're this seed, but they were actually ranked this, try and figure out why. You say, okay, if you say so, great idea, college football. But they wound up, because of what you were talking about with rewarding conference champions, the teams that wound up reaping the biggest benefit were the losers of the conference championship game. It was more advantageous to be the number 5 or be the number 6 than to be in the spot that Oregon and Georgia found themselves in. And you'd think, well, that's counterintuitive. You only have to win 3 games instead of 4. Well, getting into some of the rhythm and routine of playing and, the momentum for the other opponents and not having a chance to play at home really, hurt Oregon and Georgia in some ways. You look at what happened there. I mean, the teams at the top did not win those games, and it was better off to avoid that situation, and you should have lost that game or not been in it at all, which is where Ohio State found itself. And it had a difficult path, the most difficult path that it could have had, but, good teams are going to win those games anyway.
Speaking of, if you missed the news, came out yesterday that Texas basically ducked Ohio State. Ohio State wanted to play on Sunday, that game that is starting off the season. It's going to be, instead it'll be on Saturday, but OSU tried to get it moved to Sunday so it could be a night game or at least a late afternoon game. Texas refused to do it, so now it's going to be stuck on Saturday, and that probably means Fox is going to put it at noon. Our house band, Art and the Official Intelligencers, came up with a little ditty about that, about how Texas scared of Ohio State.
Down in Austin, Texas, they're all afraid about playing on Sundays against old Ryan Day. Someday these Buckeyes will all turn pro, but the Longhorns, baby, they're just too slow. Oh, Texas, they're scared to play on Sunday. They whine and complain till they got their way. Come big noon, the Buckeyes will be the real winner. And that night, Brutus will have a Longhorn steak dinner. These Longhorn steers smell like chicken, and thinking about Sunday made their pulse quicken. But Austin stars will be dim in the daylight as the Buckeyes pull those straps on their helmets tight. Oh, Texas, they're scared to play on Sunday. They whine and complain till they got their way. Come big noon, the Buckeyes will be the real winner. And that night, Brutus will have a Longhorn steak dinner. Yeah, Longhorn steak dinner.
Morning Breath. Coming up next, T-Bone and Tyvis, Austin Warden on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Friday. Looking a little bit congested for your Friday commute here. 70 eastbound at Mound Street heading into the city. Looking a little bit bumper to bumper. No accidents to report there. But we are so closely monitoring a crash at 270. US 33 westbound, that's where we're seeing it. The right lane is blocked out there. Just prepare for some extra time as you're making your way out the door. I'm 10 TV's Breen Albizu with your fan traffic.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Picture this. You're staying at a hotel about to take an important video call, but the Wi-Fi is slower than 1997 dial-up. You struggle with your phone's hotspot as clients complain about your connection. These stressful situations don't have to happen. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you get free high-speed Wi-Fi to handle critical emails, join meetings on time, and even unwind with your favorite shows. No more worrying about spotty connections. Enjoy stress-free stays with reliable Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important, you're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You can check out T-Bone and Tyvis on Twitter. At Bone and Tyvis 971. Bodie, we got to talking. You're going to have to play this because I lost it already. All right. So we're actually supposed to do a segment called Morning Breath at 8:15, but we got sidetracked talking about Ohio State. So good. That's fine.
I think that's what we're supposed to do.
But now we're going to do Morning Breath. So, Bodie, let's hit it.
Sometimes it's better if people just shut up. Shut up! It's time for Morning Breath.
So, Austin Ward is in today. Tyvis will be back on Tuesday. We're all off on Monday for Memorial Day, just so you know. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Hope you have a good one. This is Kendrick Perkins talking about guarding Nikola Jokic, and you brought this to my attention, Bodie. What do you think possessed this man to say what he's about to say?
I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you, Ben.
Pure optimism, I guess. Here's Kendrick Perkins saying that he would have no problem guarding the, not defending MVP anymore, but one of the best players in the league.
Perk, you wouldn't have wanted to face Jokic in Game 7 in an elimination game. Look at this. Jokic is one of two players to have 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists when facing elimination. The other player is LeBron James.
Jokic wouldn't have wanted this smoke. Kobe said I was the best post defender in the league. Huh? Kobe Bryant, yeah. He wouldn't have wanted
Wait, you're saying Jokic wouldn't have wanted you? Okay.
No, that's not. Come on.
Easier to say when you're retired.
Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense.
I think you could tell, too, it's a bit tongue-in-cheek. Good on him. I don't think he was, dead serious, but also you're like...
You never know.
Perk was a very, valued member of the 2008 Boston Celtic champion team. I wouldn't have exactly called him, the
best
Mutombo
post defender
post at any point, like guarding the rim or anything, but nevertheless, right. God love him.
Former MLB, I was going to say MLBer, MLB baseball player, whatever. Former major leaguer, Kike Hernandez. He was on Kevin Hart's podcast that he does where they dip themselves to the ice bath. I believe it's called Frozen Nuts. That's what I would call it anyway. I don't think that's what it's called. This is him talking about how he had a little bit of an issue once in a playoff game where he had a bit of a bathroom emergency.
I had a root canal, didn't put a crown over it, and turns out it cracked and got an infection. I reached out to my dentist. He's like, I can give you some antibiotics. It's going to get rid of it quick. but the side effect gives you diarrhea. At this point, I'm in the game as a designated hitter. I'm in the dugout. I'm ready to hit, and Dustin May gets the strikeout, and I go, yeah! And when I did that, I thought I farted.
Come on, man.
So I go up the stairs to go hit. It's kind of a little different walk than usual because it's going like this a little bit.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Ended up striking out on 3 pitches and said it was the best strikeout he ever had.
Might be difficult to focus like that.
I would think so. Yeah, there you go. There's your morning breath for the day. Does it need to be said? Do you need to bring that up, that you almost crapped yourself in a game? I guess you have to if you're asked about it, but I probably
was he asked about it?
Yeah. Kevin Hart asked him that there was. He said that I heard you had some intestinal issues, so he did actually get it brought up, and then he had to go from there.
All right, that's not usually the kind of story that I'm hoping to report on.
No, I wouldn't. No, I can't. I would hope that maybe someday if you get bored in the middle of August or July is probably the time for that. Just go
Big
around
Ten
the
media days.
Yeah, just go ask all the players, former coaches. Hey, anytime you ever had a bathroom emergency on the field, we're doing a piece. You could just we're gonna montage these all together. So we want to stack them up if we can.
Yeah, I need as many details as possible too. Like that's what the people want.
Some people do. I'm not one of them, but some people do need that. By the way, in the YouTube chat, which you can jump into, just go to YouTube, search 971 The Fan. A few people have brought up, we were talking pizza earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Mod Atomic brought this in. He said, have you ever stopped at Panther Pizza in Milford Center? I have not, but I'm familiar with it. He said, that's a really good hidden gem pizza place. I'll have to check it out.
Panther Pizza.
It's not far from where I live in Marysville. Milford Center's not far down the road. The other one he brought up, though, he said, it's up there with Uncle Beth's for geographically isolated great eats. If people don't know about Uncle Beth's, my mom and dad have gone to this place dozens of times. It is a barbecue spot out in North Lewisburg, which is, again, out the Marysville, Bell Fountain, kind of out that way. But this Uncle Beth's place is one of those places that you get there early. Once it's gone, it's gone. They don't make a ton of food for the day. They make enough to serve their customers. But if you get there at 4 p.m., they may not have the smoked chicken or they may be all out of brisket. But they do some of the best barbecue you're going to find in this state.
Really?
Uncle Beth's.
Okay.
If you haven't heard, now you know. And I see Evil Bald Colin is in the chat, and he said, it is legit. I go out of my way to North Lewisburg to go get it.
Wow.
So
it's 2 recommendations.
Yeah. I do recommend if you're going to get it, just eat it there if you can. Or eat it in your car. But don't
take it home.
Don't try to get that back home, especially if you're driving from like Grove City out to get it. Just go get this barbecue and enjoy it. But that might be something to do. Check their hours for Memorial Day weekend. I don't know what they're up to, but that's a spot you got to check out if you've not had it yet. I'm always on the hunt for good barbecue.
That's the real benefit of the YouTube chat there for you. The crowdsourcing food recommendations.
Oh, I'm always trying to do that every time I can. NBA last night, if you didn't hear about it, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's the MVP. He showed it last night. 38 points, matched his career high in the playoffs, led the Thunder to a 118-103 win over the Timberwolves. That series seemed over basically before it started after game 1. It seems even more over now after game 2. I don't know if people are aware, if you don't watch a ton of NBA, the Thunder very well could win the NBA title this year. They look like the best team in the playoffs by far. The other issue they have, they are deep.
Yeah.
They have a ton of first-round picks over the next few years. They can do anything they want. They haven't won anything yet. It's 2 games. Still have to win the next 2 or some combination and then get to the finals and win that. But if they win the championship this year, I don't want to crown them a dynasty before they've even won anything.
You can just see the future. It's a possibility.
They have, I don't remember the number, but it's somewhere, I feel like it's in double-digit first-round picks over the next 7 or 8 years. They can make any package of deal they want. If they say, you know what, we don't want to re-sign this guy, or he fits but not quite, we're going to let him go. We can just go sign whoever they want. They will be able to make a trade to basically get the only issue for them is going to be cap restrictions, but even then you can pay the taxes and different things and try to do something. But it is kind of disgusting when you look at it, especially for me as someone who, as a kid, if there was one team I pulled for in the NBA more than any other team, it was those Sean Kemp, Gary Payton Sonics. Now to know that Sonics franchise that could still be, this is where they are. I'm still mad about it. They should still be up in the Pacific Northwest. I hope Seattle gets that team back at some point. I know they will. NBA's already pretty much said they're going to give them a team again, but
they have to.
When that happens, I'm going out for a game.
Yeah.
I went to a Storm game was out in Seattle a few years ago, and where they play, it's remodeled. It's called like Climate Pledge Arena now.
Yeah.
But it is Key Arena. All those games, they've totally gutted it on the inside. But on the outside, it has a weird roof that is actually like a protected landmark. They can't, when they did all the renovations, they had to leave the roof alone. Everything else, though, it's you walk in at the top and you go down.
Really?
So it's a very interesting arena, but that's where the Storm play. It's a great little spot. I hope I can get back there and watch this. I would love to watch the Sonics play there at some point, but it is, yeah.
You'll get that chance. They're going to be back out
They'll
there.
be back for sure.
Bodie hit that prime pick yesterday, too. Had Shea over 32 points.
Oh, yeah, you nailed it.
My
That's
MVP. Man of the people.
Yeah, that's right. He loves a free throw. We love that.
He does. Yes, he does.
Sergei Bobrovsky, former Blue Jacket, of course. He also man of the people, I guess. I don't know. He's doing Bob things, though. He only had to make 17 saves last night, but they shut out Carolina, and now you have Panthers on a 2-0 lead. They look like they're also poised to just make it right back to another Stanley Cup final. It kind of makes me sick seeing goalie Bob and Seth Jones and guys that are obviously former Jackets doing that well. But I'm happy for those guys that they get a chance to do it. I just wish they were doing it for the Blue Jackets. I wish Bill Zito was the one, before all the Yarmo stuff. Now I like the leadership we have with Don Waddell. But previously, man, if we could have had Bill Zito running things instead of Yarmo, what could be? You don't know.
You said it kind of makes you sick. I'll go further. It makes me very sick. I just can't. I can't bring myself. Bob gave some great memories and some great performances in Columbus. There's no question about that. It was awesome to watch him, and it was awesome to be cheering for him. I don't feel any allegiance to the ones that left Columbus. I don't feel good for them if they touch the cup. I don't feel good for them when they win these games. It was too difficult of a breakup when you talk about what I thought was the Jackets had turned a corner. You win a playoff series. You have this nucleus that could stay together. I thought Seth Jones was one of the most exciting defensemen that I'd ever seen in my life. It felt like a cheat code when you had 3-on-3 overtime and he was out there and you had the bread man.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this is going to be fun forever. And it was gone in 2 seconds. And I am not going to smile because it happened. I'm going to cry because it's long been over.
I know. And you know what? There's only a small part of me that says, at least for Seth Jones, because he won it out. He goes to Chicago, and it went horribly wrong for it was awful. He was terrible. Now he's finding himself again, playing some good hockey for the Panthers. That part, I mean, I feel a little bit for him that's what we thought when he left here. That's what we thought we were losing. So for his sake, I guess I'm a little happy that he found a bit of it. But again, I want to have the Jackets in a spot like this. And I think hopefully now with the leadership they have and some of the nucleus they've got here, they can be in that spot in a few years. But this summer is critical. They have got to make the right moves, and you have to fix your goaltending. I'm sorry. There's no ifs, ands, or buts for me. As soon as the Stanley Cup is over, there's a buyout window. And if Elvis isn't one of the first ones at that drive-through getting his buyout and moving on, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything you've done. Now get out of here. Take your buyout and go. Get out of our window. We're done. I want them to buy him out, and we can move on and start to fix this roster where it needs to get to be not just borderline playoffs, but actually doing something when we get to the months of April and May in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I would love to see that. All right. We're almost done with the show. Crosstalk and the buzzer is next. T-Bone and Tyvis on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still noticing some slowdowns, especially for our commuters coming in from Groveport or the Pickerington area. US 33 westbound at I-270 North. We're seeing a crash out there. The right lane just opened up not too long ago, but again, still seeing some delays. Just make sure to take it nice and easy as you head to this area. I'm 10 TV's Brian Albizu with your fan traffic.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Get Mega May discounts at Coghlan Kia. Lease a new Kia K4, only $89 a month for 24 months. Or get 1.9% financing for 48 months. Or $2,000 bonus cash on a new 25 Kia Sportage or Sorento. Visit CoglanKia.com.
Coghlan has the car for you.
$49.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. 20 cents per mile over. Tax, title, and license fees excluded. No security deposit. $400 disposition fee every cent. 1.9 for 48 equals 21.65 for 1,000 bucks. With approved credit through KMF. Residency restrictions may apply. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. N6225.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Are you experiencing knee pain? Is something as simple as walking up and down the stairs painful? Well, I found the answer to your pain. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell. What Columbus Medical Director Dr. Aaron Walkoff and his team are doing is nothing short of remarkable. They are using regenerative cell therapy to restore the tissue in your achy joints. These are biologic growth factors with robust healing properties carefully and strategically placed in your joints. It's a powerful and potent way to give your joints new life, repairing old tissues. Best part with QC Kinetics, there are no drugs, there's no surgeries involved, and there's no downtime. This is an all-natural cellular level option with lasting relief. The patient's satisfaction reports are astonishing. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call QC Kinetics now and learn about these cutting-edge treatment that can help you live your best life. The consultation is free. New locations in Grove City and Canal Winchester. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
Two men. One is very white, fat, and bald. The other is not very white at all. Delightfully husky and getting bald. They have a radio show. It's good. T-Bone and Tyvis.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Austin Ward fill it in today. Now joined by the host of Bishop and Friends. He is the one and only Bo Bishop. On an actual Friday, a Memorial Weekend Friday. Bo, how are you?
This is one of the Apex Fridays,
isn't it? Oh boy.
We're the idiots. We're working. Most people are off for the 4-day. I think most people have the sense, although with the weather we've had, maybe people just don't even realize it's Memorial Day. But this is usually an all-time Friday. This is, you got the Memorial next week. That's the official start of summer in Central Ohio. So this should be peak Friday. It's cold, so it's not, but it should be.
I'm getting on a plane this afternoon to Texas, Bo. If you get to the airport, what do you officially endorse at an airport?
Are you taking the little one?
Oh yeah, but she's fine. We got a direct, and my parents are picking us up, so we have no concerns.
There we
go. Oh my gosh! I always go. I with the 3, I can't. But when when we just had 1 and we were still a man up, I would very. That feels like a Bloody Mary to me.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like to me. You get a little vitamin C in there, get you a little boost, get you a nice little glaze. You don't need a depth charge. You want to stay alert. Who knows what could happen on a flight? But a little depth charge. That's probably the way to go. That's what I would officially endorse on this fine actual Friday, buddy. Yeah.
Now, see, that's interesting you bring that up, Bo, because as Austin and I are big soccer guys, and when you go watch, and I know you love soccer too. You'll watch a lot of soccer. You'll watch a European game. One of the most underrated aspects of a soccer fandom is, especially in this country, if you want to watch European soccer, you got to get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and head somewhere to watch it. And that means drinking at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
It's tough.
Here's the thing, because I did that for years in my 20s, and then we had kids, and the first time I realized, I think my daughter was like 3 or 4 years old, and I was, like she's pretty kept to herself by that point. We felt pretty good. Only had the 1 kid, I think, when she was 3, and so my wife was watching her. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch the soccer game, and it was 7:30. I had a beer in the fridge. I popped it open, and then I realized. I've been forming a core memory here. My daughter's going to think drinking at 8 o'clock. 1, Dad's holding a beer. 2, Dad's holding a beer at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't think that's what I wanted to let her know that was okay to do. So I had to pull back from that. And so now I only do it if I'm at a bar with other soccer people where it's acceptable. But drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning for me is nothing. So I'm open. The whole world is my oyster when it comes to the bar at the airport. I'm ready for anything.
I like the idea of like your daughter going to mom and say, "Mom, is Daddy Hank Williams?" He's drinking really early in the morning every day, every weekend. Like, do we have a problem here? I'll tell you, the bloody beer's pretty good too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Montana staple. You had to do that. They had to have bloody beer in Wyoming, right?
100%. When you got to have a little
red beer,
bloody beer, red beer, and some kegs and eggs.
Yeah.
Not for me. I mean, I unfortunately started working as a freshman in college covering games. So, I didn't fully embrace that as often as I should, Bo.
I don't know why it hasn't reached this part of the country, but in the mountain states, like a red beer, bloody beer it's a staple.
I've never
of
even
the tailgate.
I've never even heard. What is this? What are you getting? Just a Bloody Mary in a beer?
Well, I use Clamato. So you go. It's almost like a michelada a little bit. Is kind of what you're going for. But whatever your American beer of your choice would be, a Yellow Jacket would be great. Pour it in a Yeti, and then just top that sucker off with a little bit of Clamato. Or you could go a V8 or Bloody Mary mix, whatever, and then hit it with a little celery salt on top. And now you're talking. I mean, that's a staple of the Mountain State tailgate.
100%. A little spicy Bloody Mary mix.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure I just need to hit the right OSU tailgate, and I'll find one of those. I just haven't done it yet. I'm not aware of that though.
Well, I haven't seen it here. People look at me cross-eyed when I say that's what we do. I mean, but it's my wife's a native Ohioan, and I got her turned on to him. She's all for it. So yeah, I mean, if she can be won over, anybody can.
I keep saying. Ross has got to schedule a home and home with Wyoming. Like, let's let the people of Columbus go see the world. It's got to happen.
God, can you imagine a Buckeye Nation rolling into Laramie?
I'd be all for it. I want to do a Buckeye Nation in one of those indoor stadiums. Like, let's play an FCS school and let's go for it. Let's do one of those.
Like North Dakota State.
Yeah, let's hit North Dakota State up. The Fargo Dome, is that where they are?
Fargo Dome, yeah. Go play in the Kibbe Dome. Go play Idaho in the Kibbe Dome.
Hell yeah.
I think you can get about 16,000 in there.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That's what you need.
We've taken enough shots at Texas this morning. I will have to give them credit. They were not scared to go to War Memorial Stadium. Texas has played at Wyoming. And Wyoming was smart enough to capitalize on this. The only way you could get tickets to that game was by buying a season ticket package, Bo. So you had like 20,000 Texas fans who were like, well, that's still cheaper, Wyoming season tickets, than going to a game in Austin. And they took that place over. And Wyoming reaped the benefits the rest of the year.
How did that happen? Do you remember? What was the genesis of Texas saying, yeah, we're going to go play in Laramie?
It wound up being 2-for-1 in the end game. So Texas got, 2 of those in return. And Wyoming got really creative with its scheduling. Tom Berman, the athletic director, he was very good at this. Nebraska played out there. Texas played out there. Oregon played out there. Virginia, Ole Miss. Yeah. He was like, whatever it takes to get some of these done. And a lot of those programs, like their fan bases were excited to actually go do that. They want to go see Wyoming. They want to check it off of a bucket list. And who can blame them? It's one of the greatest venues in all of sports. So, they did a great job with that for a long time. It hasn't happened as frequently in recent years, but it was a 2-for-1 to get that done.
Is that Joe Glenn era or before maybe? Who was the coach when you were there?
Joe Glenn was the one that I covered, and then he was replaced by Dave Christensen, who he had the Howdy Doody Flyboy incident with Troy Calhoun in Air Force.
Yeah.
Those were some real power brokers. We had Vic Koenig when I was in college. That didn't work out great. Joe Glenn replaced them. A nice string. Craig Bull, though, man, I miss him. He really had it going.
Yeah, they've had a lot of great players through the years and a fun program. Yeah, I always was kind of jealous because Montana has the two big state or relatively big state schools in Montana State, and Wyoming always just had the one. I thought, God, if we just combined forces,
right,
we could really battle the Cowboys, man.
Well, Joe Glenn did some things up there in that other state.
He did, yeah. My brother's alma mater won a chipper, so yeah, he did.
There you go. Bo, have a great show. Have a great weekend. We'll be listening. Thanks, buddy.
All right, boys. Take care.
Yep, there you go. Buzzer time. Let's do it.
Shove it down your throat. It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings in Dublin. AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Well, Austin, I know you're a big wrestling guy.
I am.
WrestleMania 42.
I couldn't believe this.
Announced to be, earlier this year, they said it's going to the New Orleans Caesar Superdome, April 11th through 12th in 2026. Except now, it's not. Hope you didn't book your tickets too early or book your flights because it's not going to New Orleans. WrestleMania is reportedly going to Las Vegas.
Again.
They've done that plenty of times. New Orleans is now going to host the WWE Money in the Bank event in 2026. So
this is going to crush Liberty. She has been. So The Rock had this big announcement 3 months ago. They're going back to New Orleans. And
finally.
Finally. WrestleMania is coming back to NOLA.
Yeah.
And so Lib has been, because she didn't get to go to Mania last year. She's been to SummerSlam, went to Royal Rumble. So she just keeps saying every week, they do the ads, they'll talk about it. Take me to New Orleans. Take me to New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can take her to Vegas. We could have done New Orleans. I got a bunch of friends who live down there. One guy who was already getting like a suite for one of the nights of WrestleMania next year. That's on hold. So tough break. I don't know.
It's insane. I just can't imagine how many people have already started making plans for that. Now they just have to either, cancel them or...
Well, you talked about, wanting to go to that someday, and WrestleCon is the big thing where you have the merch out and you get to meet, the old wrestlers do their signings. I know for certain, as part of their mailing list, that they had already booked a place in New Orleans for that weekend. So, I don't know how you're going to get out of that contract. What's the cancellation fee? That really stinks.
Can't imagine. All right, it's been fun, Austin. Thanks for doing this. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Bishop and Friends is next. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. It's T-Bone and Tyvis on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. A good update for you right now. Lanes look to be open right now at 71 southbound in both directions. Earlier, they were restricted for a little bit because of some construction repairs going on. But again, things are nice and open as you make your way down south. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Make your summer celebrations a good deal better with sizzling deals from Meijer. Fresh from Meijer 80% lean ground beef family packs for just $3.49 per pound, limit 5. Or chicken drumsticks family packs for only 99 cents per pound. And mini seedless watermelon or buy one, get one for $1. Plus, enjoy hot deals all summer long on Meijer brand must-haves, like Meijer chips for $1.99 and Meijer hamburger and hot dog buns for $1.39. Summertime is always a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-324-VEIN. That's 614-324-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop, and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Huntington is banking that just clicks. Like asterisk-free checking. An account that's filled with features, but no monthly maintenance fee, no matter what. Because it's your money, right? So we think you should keep it. It's just one more way we're looking out for people every day. Is your bank looking out for you? Maybe it's time to switch. Visit your neighborhood Huntington branch or make the switch at huntington.com/yourmoney.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yes! Let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
This Memorial Day, honor the season with big savings at Ohio Mulch. For a limited time, get 5 bags of mulch or soil for just $10.95. Perfect for making your yard look the best for summer gatherings. And here's a star-spangled bonus. Save $40 on home delivery when you order now. Celebrate Memorial Day and beautify your home with help from Ohio Mulch. Visit ohiomulch.com or stop by your local store today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, cleaner, greener, better.
Dealin' Days are back at Lindsay Honda. Lock in your deal in May. Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas. Simply pick your new 2025 Honda and enjoy 0% for up to 60 months. Yes, 0% for up to 60 months on all new 2025 Hondas, including HR-V, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Lindsay's got it, and you're gonna save.
See you, Lindsay Honda, during Dealin' Days.
See lindsayhonda.com for details.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Evan Cohen here. It's time to turn things up a notch. This summer, don't binge watch shows. Binge s'mores by the campfire. Press pause on the podcast and press play on the warm weather vibes. Here's your chance to win $10,000 for your ultimate summer. What are you waiting for? Take your shot with 5-Hour Energy and make this summer your best summer ever. Visit 5heshot.com for full details and rules and to enter today. No purchase necessary. Ends June 30th, 2025.